Hello, and welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I'm very happy to be back today. Oh, Crosshair even sent me a reminder about adding the chatbot, and I didn't. Isn't that terrible? Excellent, Weirdness. I'm really happy to hear that, because I think, Weirdness, this might just be your campaign. This might just be the Weirdness Doomed campaign of your imagining. lots of merfolk, less charming, more horrifying. Just doom everywhere, just absolutely horrific ends to be met. I'm very happy to be here, and as mentioned, of course, there's still no chat on screen. So I even got a reminder. Ah, well, it's all good. There's something happening outside. It's a shocking sound. Well, Weirdness, if you want it to be, it could be. What do I want to say? If you're watching this, of course, on the YouTube VOD, down below is a link to the timestamp where we jumped in. I have yet to put up last episode on YouTube. Some sort of issue with how it's processing. I might have to, re-upload it or so on, which I will do after today's episode. Silas Marsh continues the Innsmouth conspiracy, where he will be today. In Too Deep. That's the name of the scenario, just to be clear. It's true, Weirdness. I mean, I would assume them to be cats, but I don't think they are. As always, of course, we'll do our usual synopsis or reminder of what's going on, how we're getting on in the campaign, where we're at, which is all the more important because the Innsmouth conspiracy features flashbacks and things. Then we'll dive in and see what's going to happen today when we're in too deep. As always, if you have questions, thoughts, feelings, anything, about what's going on in the scenario, I don't talk through every rule and every regulation. We're here for the roleplay and the storytelling, but if you do have questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Weirdness makes a good point. Weirdness, were you here when Luke Robinson was exploring the Dreamlands? Because there were many cats. There was a city of cats, and then there were the cats from Saturn, which were horrific. Despite Silas Marsh's reputation as a man who can kind of do anything and do it well, and a survivor, no less, he has had a very bad track record of surviving so far. Really disastrous. I'm not unhappy. Yes, you would think so, Weirdness. Should I show you? I wonder if I can. No, it's gonna be a bit too much trouble. I'll try to link it in the Discord, Weirdness. But yes, it's legitimately just like a species of cat from Saturn that invade or that come to the Dreamlands at some point, or I think when you're on the moon. Oh, excellent. So Silas Marsh, I'm not mad with how the first scenario went, the Pit of Despair, because with a name like the Pit of Despair, you would expect it to not necessarily go so well, but Silas Marsh managed to recapture some of his memories, although he suffered some more damage at the hands of those horrible beasts. The vanishing of Agent Harper was going really well until suddenly just cultists, winged monsters, everything bogged him down all at once, and he was forced to retreat back to his hotel room where he was staying. Welcome over. I saw the word over, Crosshair. That's where that's coming from. Welcome, Crosshair, to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I was just doing a little preamble, but I think we'll get right into the synopsis of what's going on. Silas Marsh woke up with no memory of who he was or what he was doing in a cave, which was wild. Managed to get out, but, took some serious damage along the way. And then immediately fell to a large flashback. 5 weeks earlier, he arrived in Innsmouth with Thomas Dawson, looking for one of Thomas Dawson's missing agents, Agent Harper. He managed to identify the person, the kidnapper who kidnapped her. Yep, you heard what I said. And the location of their hideout, the county jail, a classic, but was forced to run back to safety after being attacked by far too many winged creatures. I was pretty mad about that, Crosshair. I'll be honest, I'm a little salty. Not too much, just a string of bad luck. Today, well, we're going to see what's happening. Silas has returned to the present with Agent Harper, but with still no memory of what's happened between that day 5 weeks ago when he went to look for her and today. So let's dive in. I earned no experience last scenario and 1 trauma, so my deck has not changed other than being slightly more on the edge now. Oh, yes. Now, Crosshair, let me ask you, I'm going to ask you straight. Is this prediction because we can get the bad stuff out of the way at the beginning? Because that would be wonderful. I would definitely take that. Quick reminder here, where did we leave off? Interlude 2 was the syzygy. Alina Harper was going to catch us up. There's the syzygy, which is an alignment of planets, or in this case, I guess the sun and the moon are aligned. We'll get back to Innsmouth, and she'll explain what she knows along the way. Scenario 3, In Too Deep. The sea rises steadily as you make your way along the coast towards the town of Innsmouth. The sun and moon align over the distant horizon, threatening a grim, uncertain future. You remember the layout of the town and several strange faces you met during your first few days there, but nothing that transpired between them and waking up in that waterlogged pit. That's like weeks. Agent Harper's been trying to fill you in, but with so many gaps in your memory, each explanation only perplexes you further. Ever since you came to Innsmouth, things have only gotten worse. It began with the locals. Each day they got rowdier and more hostile, especially to outsiders like you and me. Do you remember how nauseating some of them looked? Slimy, grayish skin, wide lips, bulging eyes, that sort of thing? You nod. Now that you've remembered, you almost wish you hadn't. Silas, of course, as we've discussed before, having grown up in Innsmouth, is familiar with the Innsmouth look, which points perhaps to the fact that many of the townsfolk have a certain lineage. Now, I'm not saying people in Innsmouth, had children with fish. Doesn't make any sense genetically. I am saying people in the town are part monster. That is what I'm saying. It wasn't just the way they looked either. Their hoarse voices croaked syllables barely resembling human speech. They reeked of rotting fish. They're the ones who have been stirring up trouble recently. That's not all. There are other creatures skulking around Innsmouth of late. I'm sure you've seen them too. She shudders. There's some kind of connection between the esoteric order of Dagon and those things. Not sure what yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it if... Her voice trails off as she climbs to the top of the headland. Whatever has her staring agape cannot be good. You reach the top, haul yourself over the ridge, and see the same devastation she does. Innsmouth has been invaded. This is bad news. This is very bad news, in fact. The same creatures you encountered in that sacrificial pit prowl the streets. Foul things from the depths of the sea, or perhaps beyond. They patrol the alleys and intersections, searching for something, hunting. Makeshift barricades block the various pathways through the town as water from the Maniset River... Maniset? Whatever, river spills out onto the streets. No, this can't be, Agent Harper intones. A moment of silent gloom hangs between you. It's clear that Innsmouth is no longer safe. You inform Agent Harper that Agent Dawson left his vehicle near hers at the abandoned railway station on the western edge of Innsmouth. Yeah, I don't know, weirdness. Like, somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me? Maybe? She nods, understanding. Right, we have to get to the other side of town, and fast. The sky above you is bathed in hues of violent crimson. With any luck, no more of that color will be spilled today. Crosshair, and weirdness, can I ask about music volume compared to my voice? Is it working relatively well? There's no other sound effects, but I just want to check in. And it's true, Crosshair, that's actually a good point. He did so bad, like, the investigation went so terribly that he literally has blocked it and everything in the subsequent 4 weeks from his memory. Scenario setup's mostly done. We'll take a look at the map in a moment here. I'm just making sure we know what we're doing. Ah, those tourists always descending on the small towns. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Crosshair. That's good. Yeah, the volume is all funky because it's a big playlist. Okay. So there's some setup to do. Most of it's done. Place each key as follows. check the possible hideout section of the campaign log for the location that is circled. I circled the prison, the jail, because that was the hideout. Place the black key on that location. Set each other key aside face down, shuffle them so you don't know which is which. Check the campaign log for each suspect that is out for blood. None. So nothing happens, because I didn't attack anybody. Well, I didn't attack any of the suspects. Set the following as out of play, blah, blah, blah. Set angry mob out of play. That's good. Add the flood tokens. Okay. Increase the flood level on certain places. Fine. Shuffle. Okay. New rules for today. Actually, I'll read keys first because I think that's interesting. During this scenario, keys represent the following. All of the keys represent information from the still human citizens of Innsmouth regarding the state of the town. The black key, however, is information regarding the suspect who kidnapped Agent Harper, which we now know was Joyce Little, owner of the Little Bookshop, and probably some sort of powerful witch. Awesome. Rules for today. I think before I look at the map, I just want to point out how this works. Because the things that have overtaken the town, these fish monster creature things, the deep ones, they've placed barriers throughout the town, right? Barriers have been set up around various streets of Innsmouth. Each barrier is represented by a resource token. Barriers block the movements of investigators. You can't move through. And then it says, if there are one or more barriers, investigators cannot move from one to the other, even if they are connected. Barriers can be removed using some location abilities, or the ability on the act, which we'll have a look at. Hello, Roger Twy. Welcome to Doomed. Good to have you with us. The more barriers placed between two locations, the more times such an ability must be used. Fine. When a hunter enemy moves, this is important, when a hunter enemy moves, after determining which investigator it moves towards, me, it follows the shortest path not blocked by barriers. If no such path exists, it ignores barriers. All other enemy movement ignores barriers. So, specifically what that means is, if you have a deep one enemy on your tail, so on Silas's tail in this case, it will hunt towards you along the path that has no barriers, because it doesn't want to dismantle the barriers that it's erected, if it can't, you know. But if it can't, because there's been barriers placed or something has happened and now its path to you is blocked, it just ignores them entirely. It will dismantle them. Not literally, but figuratively. Is that it? Locations, and then that's other things. Okay, let's have a little look-see. This is the town of Innsmouth we all know and love. I'm not going to go over all of the various locations and whatever. We're starting down here on the bottom right at the desolate coastline. And right here at the top left is the railroad station, which we believe is where Thomas Dawson's car was left, or Alina Harper's car and Thomas Dawson's car were left. So I have to get from here to there. Exactly, crosshair. Oh, right, I should mention as well, I believe locations are adjacent. Yeah, locations next to each other are adjacent, but not diagonally. So, you know, if I kind of look at the connections here, there's barriers blocking everything east-west, basically. So you can't go anywhere east-west because of barriers. What you can do is find ways of removing barriers, and then you can move west, west-west, but you can move north-south pretty freely. So it becomes a bit of a puzzle of, like, where can I kind of skip over and then get to the end? You'll notice as well there's generally more barriers sort of towards the end of the map, which we'll see in a moment. Okay, let's read our agenda and our act here. Agenda 1A. Whoa! Barricaded streets. In a second, all my plans were utterly changed, for if the southward highway were blocked ahead of me, I must clearly find another egress from Innsmouth. Each suspect loses aloof, cannot be parlayed with. I don't think there's any suspects. Forced. When you end your turn, if you are at a fully flooded location, take 1 damage. No fully flooded locations yet. Sorry, someone's laughing outside and it's magnificent. Exactly, crosshair. Up. And then, yeah. Now, here's the thing, though, which I will point out, crosshair. We'll have a look at the act and so on momentarily. There's no way, I believe, to place barriers. There's going to be ways of getting rid of barriers because they've been placed by the enemy. But I don't think we have a way of, like, erecting some. Ooh, never, Roger Twy. Can you give me a sense of, like, I mean, it's probably similar to this, but is it because it's sort of labyrinthy? Oh, exciting. Okay, very cool. Oops, wrong thing. 6 doom threshold on barricaded streets. Act 1A, Through the Labyrinth. Inhuman creatures patrol the streets of Innsmouth, hunting for you and more of your kind. You must make your way to the other end of town and escape. But perhaps more of your memories can be recovered if you explore the town of Innsmouth further? Okay. Free trigger. Spend 1 per investigator plus 1, so 2 clues. Remove a barrier between your location and a connecting location. 2 clues, 1 barrier. Free trigger. Okay. Objective. Get to the railroad station. If each surviving investigator has resigned, advance. Oh boy, I will try, Crosshair. Okay. I've got the other tokens here. I think we're just going to jump in because I don't really know. I don't think there's much more intro to do. We're starting with 3 damage and 1 horror from the various traumas I've taken because, of course, Silas is a weather-beaten, grizzled old sailor, but he's also taken more than his fair share of punishment here in Innsmouth. I was wondering. Crosshair. Okay. We'll save our game here. I believe it is time to draw our opening hand. Ooh, I'll start on 5 resources, though. Let's get doomed. Okay. Jacob. Bandages. I love those. Resourceful does nothing for me off the top. Eureka is pretty good. Survival instinct doesn't do anything for me. Eureka is good. It's filtered draw. I'd kind of rather have, like, more icons, but I'll take the... Labyrinth. I think I'll keep it, and I'll draw 2 more to replace it. Okay. Need some money to pay for everything in my hand. Jacob, Morrison, and bandages is pretty strong, and I might get those out ASAP. Daring is good for skills, and so on and so forth. Okay. Silas is starting here at the desolate coastline. He's with Agent Harper, but, you know, she's not in the deck. I don't have access to her, which is too bad. From here, you can still see the exit of the tidal cavern where you were trapped. The opening vanishes slowly as the tide rolls in. You shudder to think how things might have turned out if you hadn't escaped. Huh! 2 shroud, 1 clue. Card effects cannot place barriers between desolate coastline and connecting locations. Okay. I don't really need... I mean, clues help dismantle barriers. I'm trying to go west, and as I can see here, there's 2 barriers to the west, so I don't really have a way of getting rid of them. I need to go north, towards the harbor. However, I'm going to spend a bit of time setting up. Play out some bandages, and I'll do this. So, this is how I like to see it going down. Silas is sort of like, you know, preparing. Basically, he has nothing. He has no... The rusted cleaver he had in the tidal tunnel is gone. He's not even sure if he still has his, like, keepsake, the talisman. He's not even sure if he has it. What he does have are some scraps of cloth, and he's like, well, if nothing else, I can staunch some of this bleeding. Suddenly, from behind him, the sound of pounding feet. They turn around, they're ready for a fight. But it is, in fact, a mysterious figure. Jacob Morrison, the Coast Guard captain. It's a man in a yellow slicker. He greets Silas with a smile and a clap on the back. Ah, how are you, old friend? Good to see you here. They seem to have some history together, although Silas certainly cannot, for the life of him, remember why. What did they do together? And looking at Elena Harper, she kind of shrugs as well, like, I don't know, don't you know who this guy is? So he's like, oh yeah, of course, come along. We're trying to sneak through town. He's like, oh great, I know some shortcuts. Like, this guy is going to try to help them get through town. But as to why they know each other, he can't say. I agree with Roger Twy. I think rather than tearing up some fabric and using it for bandages, perhaps you should put on a shirt, my friend. Last action, we're gonna move up the coast. I don't need this clue. I don't need this clue. I don't care. I mean, I might, but we'll see. Even the town's once bustling harbor is deserted. The angry tide has consumed much of the docks and toppled several ships into the ocean. Whoa. If this continues much longer, there won't be much of a harbor left at all. What is this flooding that's happening? It's wild. Yeah, that's correct, Crosshair. Innsmouth Harbor. 1 shroud, 1 clue. Double action parlay. Remove a barrier between this location and a connecting location. Boop, 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 boop. What is it called? Reaction ability. After you enter this location, move to the house on Water Street, which I think is the one up here. Decrepit and apparently abandoned, this house is unlocked and oddly inviting. Interestingly enough, the house on Water Street, decrepit and apparently abandoned, and creepy as hell, is, Silas remembers in a brief flash, the house where he grew up, which is even wilder. Something's calling his name. No, Crosshair. Good shout. None. Because that would be... I know what you're thinking, Crosshair, and I love it. The idea of Jenny just being like, well, I'm out. I think I'm going to, perhaps foolishly, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to, after you enter this location, move to the house on Water Street without spending an action. This way, I free up another space, just in case there's something interesting up here. I know I could probably get this clue a bit easier, but, like, maybe this is going to be nice? Forced. After this location is revealed, randomly choose a set-aside key and place it on this location without looking at it. If we recall, keys represent information from townsfolk about the state of the town. You can pick them up if there are no clues on the location. Oh, look at the time. Free trigger. Choose and discard a card from your hand. Remove a barrier between this location and a connecting location. That's actually much nicer. I like that a lot more. Instead of 2 actions to remove a barrier, it's a free trigger to get rid of a card and remove a barrier, so I'm going to take that. But I think I'm going to go for this key. I don't know what information from the townsfolk is going to do, but that is also, we're out of actions. Silas, Agent Harper, and Jacob Morrison venture up to this old decrepit house where they hunker down and take a look at their options. We go to upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. It's unexpected courage. 1 out of 6 doom. I'm going to shuffle the encounter deck because I can't stop shuffling decks. And my encounter card at the house on Water Street is Inundated. Classic. Revelation. Place a barrier between this location and each connecting location with no barriers. If no barriers are placed, it gains Surge. I'm going to actually just take some of these out. And oh, no. I'm going to do you one better. Copy. I'm just going to copy some barriers out here because I feel like we're going to probably need a bunch. So, Inundated places a barrier between this location and connecting locations with no barriers. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't clear that one. So there's now a barrier blocking our progress back to the harbor. As soon as they make it inside, they start to poke around for anything. Weapons, candles, life, food, water, anything they can take with them on their rush out of town. They hear the sound of feet slapping by as some more of the monsters venture. And then suddenly a rush of water as one of the dikes breaks along the shore, letting more water spill down the street. Silas looks back and notes that the way back to the harbor is covered in jetsam and flotsam now. Jetsam and flotsam, are those different things? I think flotsam is garbage in the ocean that's floating, and jetsam is garbage in the ocean that you jettisoned. That's just a guess. That seems like a good guess, though. Okay, so Inundated placed a barrier behind me. We go back to the investigation phase. Okay, let's actually look at my cards, hey? Jacob Morrison says, when you would fail a skill test, exhaust him to gain +2 skill value. He doesn't ready during the upkeep phase. After a blessed token is revealed, you can ready him, though. That is correct. Oh, well. That is okay. That does make sense, then. God. Total off-topic point. I love trivia games and game shows and so on, because often yes, it's things you might just know, but it's also often stuff that you can kind of deduce if you know what words mean in the language that you're playing. Right? Like, I just feel like, because I know Flotsam and Jetsam, like, I kind of generally have an idea of what they are, but, like, to jettison something, oh, I love it. Okay, cool. Yeetsum! All right, well, we're going to investigate this location and try to get some information from some townsfolk. I don't think there's anyone in the house on Water Street, but I'm hoping Silas can find some sort of scrawled message left behind. We're going to investigate here. I have 2 intellect against the 2 shrouded the location. I'm going to commit Eureka to be 3 to 2, and that's not really good enough, but I think I'm going to do it and just hope that Jacob can pass me the test. Actually, let's look at what's in the bag, shall we? -2, -3, -X. Oh, -3. No, I would still pass. Okay, we're good. Here we go. Well, not quite. Test. Skull. We might be going in reverse order, Crosshair. A skull is -1 for each location to the east of you, which is none. So we pass. Eureka fires. I can search the top 3 cards of my deck for a card and draw it, which I will do. Keyring, Perseverance, Unrelenting. I'm going to take Unrelenting because I feel like that's useful to have. If she's out of the void. Okay, great. Thank you. So we get the clue, and we'll get this key, because I can free trigger pick it up. What is it? It's a red key. Ooh, the red key. Silas does indeed manage to find some messages scrawled in hasty handwriting on sheets of just loose leaf paper. Most of them are unintelligible, but he does recognize a few notes hastily scribbled about them. You know, taking refuge at the grocery, it says. And then it says, citizenry hold up at prison or something. Does it? Oh, it does, doesn't it? Woo. How about now? My God, you're right, Crosshair. Goodness gracious. Okay. I could take a resource and play Keep Faith. That's probably not a bad thing to do. I think I'm going to do that. Take a resource. Fast, Keep Faith. Adds blessed tokens to the bag. I think, so taking a moment to sort of figure out exactly what it is that's going on, taking a moment to reread that message and really center himself. Silas is, he goes to show it to Jacob Morrison and to Elena Harper. He has to really buckle down and realize not all is lost. If this message is here, that means that people made it out. They made it further west. Perhaps they're no longer there now, but we'll see. Free trigger. Choose and discard a card from your hand. Parlay. Well, I'd like to use it. So I will free trigger. Put oh hell, I don't know. Let's put I'm gonna regret not having daring. I'm gonna put unexpected courage in the bin. Free trigger. Remove a barrier between this location and a connecting location. And then last action, I will indeed move west to the Marsh Refinery. Crossing the bridge and turning toward the roar of the lower falls, I passed close to the Marsh Refinery, which seemed oddly free from the noise of industry. This building stood on a steep river bluff near a bridge and an open confluence of streets, which I took to be the earliest civic center. This is, of course, the refinery owned by other members of the Marsh sort of clan. He doesn't actually know if he's related, but he did get a chance to talk to Barnabas Marsh, although the man's strange, distorted, grotesque features freaked him the hell out. And that's right, Crosshair. It is indeed a gold refinery, which makes no sense. Let's have a look at it. 3 shroud, 1 clue, free trigger. If you control 1 or more keys, move to a connecting location. Gotta refine that fish. Gold, Roger Twy. Don't worry about it. Action. Discard an asset you control. Parlay. Remove a barrier between this location and connecting location. I'm not spending 3 actions and 3 assets to remove 3 barriers. So I'm going to go south to the Fish Street Bridge, baby. Free trigger. If you control 1 or more keys, move to a connecting location. Hell yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to... This is, to me... Oh, actually. Unless... Because this barrier's here now. No, it's fine. I am going to do it. I want to keep moving just in just so I get a sense of what, the layout is. With the information sort of provided, with those scrawled notes, Silas hurries along past the refinery. No point even checking in there. There's no one in there. It wouldn't still be operational, but there'd be some sort of signs of life. This is the Fish Street Bridge where he fought that poor woman and knocked her into the ocean. A cultist. A crumbling ruin. The bridge nonetheless provides decent cover for your flight through the town. Ooh! 1 shroud. 2 clues. Fish Street Bridge gets +1 shroud for each barrier between it and any connecting location. So it currently has +3. Yuck. Action, add 2 curse tokens to the bag. Parlay, remove a barrier between this location and a connecting location. Victory 1. I'm considering it as my last action. Silas comes to this bridge that he's remembers having gone over weeks ago now. The rushing waters are much higher. They're lapping almost at the underside of the arches under the bridge. But hopefully he's thinking maybe I can get to higher ground and be able to observe the surroundings. No enemies, so I'm going to go ahead and upkeep. Draw a card, gain a resource. This is Dreams of the Deep. I don't actually know if we've seen this. Maybe we have. Oh yeah, we did. We saw it in scenario 1. Even from a higher vantage point, the water rushing provides a sound that it's not quite a roar, and yet cutting through it is a murmur, a sound that Silas can't identify. He looks down to try to figure out what it is, and in the water he can see the reflection of something, a creature much too large to be present in the river, much too immovable to actually be a part of the landscape. It's as if there is some sort of whale beneath the river looking back at him. This is a skill. It's got 2 wild icons, but it says it subtracts from your skill value instead of adding to it. If this skill test fails, return it to your hand. And it says forced, if it's in your hand at the end of your turn, reveal it and take 2 damage. Yuck. So the Dreams of the Deep reduces your ability to sort of get something done, but if you really push through and get it done, you can force them out of your brain. Hello, Requiem Lost. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. Silas Marsh, the sailor, is rushing through Innsmouth trying to get out to the railroad station where there's a vehicle for them. He's managed to sort of get through part of the town so far, but something, the creatures here, the deep ones, have set up barricades all through the town, blocking his progress. Very good. Very good, Roger Toy. We go to 2 out of 6 Doom. Ooh, and my encounter card is Dreams of Relia. I do mean the Dread Pirate Roberts. And here's his faithful Captain Wesley. The Dreams of Relia. Obviously, these Dreams of the Deep, the creature that Silas can definitely see in the rushing water. He realizes now it mirrors a dream he's had for many years. Of a place beneath the waves, not far from Innsmouth, a place where creatures dwell that have no name, speak no language that mortal ear can understand. You get -1 will and -1 sanity. That's really bad because now I only have 4 and only 3 left. Action, test will 3. If you succeed, discard Dreams of Relia. Well, I'm not going to be able to do that without a bless token. Seems unlikely. but we'll see. I'm thinking I'm going to remove some barriers, and then or remove at least one, and then I'm going to try to investigate, I guess? Because then if I can get rid of Dreams of the... Oh god, that's actually really hard, isn't it? There's not much I can do here is the problem. I could move down to the shoreward slums. Full of lifelong inhabitants, the slums can be a good place to glean key information about the state of the town, which is not a bad thing at all. I'd love the victory point. I need to clear Dreams of the Deep, like, now, because I think it's really going to mess us up. I think the idea is pretty cool, actually, Crosshair. I don't know what kind of scenario or who, other than, you know, these guys. Yeah. It's true. Add 2 curse tokens. Parlay. Remove a barrier. So I could do that twice. Remove both barriers. Then it would only be 2 shroud. I would be 2 to 2. 3 with unrelenting. 1 with Dreams of the Deep. And then hopefully I pull a good token and I can pass with Jacob. September 19th. ER. Is it worth trying? Is it worth trying with less? No, it is not worth trying with less. I think that's the right play. And then if I take 2 damage, I take 2 damage. So we're going to do that. Against my better judgment, Silas is going to start to wade back down. Well, he's going to clamber back down off the bridge, keeping his eyes fixed firmly on this massive beast beneath the waves. Ripley, what are you up to? Get out of here, little kitten. Lots of kittens here in Innsmouth, despite the water. And as he moves closer and closer to it, he's hoping that he'll be able to just touch the water, disrupt the spell that this dream seems to have on him. Well, she is pretty big, Crosshair. Come here, Ripley. People want to see you on the stream. Oh, God. You're so heavy. Oh. Are you the beast beneath the waves? Man, your comedic timing is terrible, bud. What a cutie. Oh. Okay. 2 barriers. Add 4 curse to the chaos bag. Sure. That's not going to come back to bite me in the butt. Not at all. Last action, we're going to try to get one of these clues. Oh, actually, this could be very good. I'd love to draw, but I won't. So, okay, I'm going to commit Dreams of the Deep and Unrelenting. Because, of course, Silas is being haunted by the Dreams of the Deep, but he is unrelenting. He's going to persevere and, you know, he's stubborn. He's going to persevere through this, and he's going to find out what is haunting him. So, 2 Shroud. I have 2 Intellect. So, 2 to 2. +1, -2. So, I'm investigating at 1 to 2. However, I'm going to search for 3 tokens that aren't the tentacle and seal them. If they were good tokens, I would be able to draw some cards, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take... what tokens am I going to take here? I'm going to take the tablet and the cultists, right? Yeah. Yep. I'm just going to remove some stuff from the bag here. This is what Unrelenting does. So the tablet comes out, the cultist comes out, and how about this -4? There you go. Okay, so we are investigating at 1 to 2. I don't get to draw any... Oh, hi, Max. What's everyone doing over here? Oh, cuties. Let's do it. Let's investigate. And then if we fail big time, we can take Unrelenting back to hand with my ability. Bless. Ancient Covenant passes us the test. So, I had 1 intellect going into it, +2 because of the bless, and the covenant means don't reveal another token. We pass the test. Dreams goes away. Oh, actually, do I even need the Unrelenting? Let me think about this for a second. I don't, right? I had 2 intellect, -2. Right, so I'm going to take the Unrelenting back to hand with Silas's ability. Get rid of the Dreams of the Deep. Get a clue. Get a clue, Scott. And we're that much closer to a single victory point. Silas does touch the water. It ripples, and the creature beneath vanishes, but the sense of foreboding that he feels does not. No enemies. We go to the upkeep phase. We draw a card, we gain a resource. Lucky? I am lucky. I'll take it. I think it's an excuse too. Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't been keeping track, have I? That was a bless? Oh yeah, no, bless doesn't count. I pulled a bless there, it doesn't count, Crosshair. And we go to 3 out of 6 doom, and we gotta, you know, keep rushing here. As Silas looks down into the murky waters, this dreams thing's gotta go too. I gotta do something about that. Classic. It's the lurking deep one. Having touched the top of the water, the large shape beneath vanishes. And then suddenly the water bursts forth as a creature leaps out, razor-sharp teeth sinking into Silas's arm. So this is a lurking deep one. 2/2/4. After it engages, you take a damage, which I don't like. I'm going to take the damage and put it on Jacob. And I'm going to save... I need to save at least 1 bandage for a specific leg injury. So bandages heals a damage. It's our old friend. Now, this is actually kind of rough because I would love to kill it. But it's really going to eat into my time here. But that's okay. I think that's not a bad thing. Yeah, no bad thing. Okay, let's do it. We're going to, we have to try to fight this creature off. Jacob Morrison, the Coast Guard captain, wades into battle as well. He's got like sort of it's not a walking stick per se, but it is a staff, and he's going to start trying to shove the creature off Silas back into the water. So we're fighting 4-2. Not bad, but I think we can do better. I'm going to commit daring to this test to be I'm going to commit unrelenting to this test to be 5-2, and this time I will seal some good stuff tokens. Let's see. +1, 0, 0. I don't need you guys. I shouldn't have said that, but that's okay. Which draws me 2 cards. Classic leg injury. Well, could be worse. Now it's out of my deck. The creature's teeth had sunk into Silas's arm. He manages to shove it off with a great feat of strength, but the creature's claws rake along his leg. The sting is bad, then the flare-up of pain is worse. So I drew 2 cards with Unrelenting. We are fighting 5-2. Yep, there's a bunch of shit out of the bag, so let's do it. 5-2. That's a pass. I'll take it. Do I need the Unrelenting? No, I'm going to take it back to hand. 1 damage on the deep one. As the creature gets pushed, I might actually just do that again and draw 2 more cards. I think I might actually. Let's do it. F it. Absolutely not. We're going to do the exact same thing. Actually, what does leg injury do? Remind me? Move, resign, or evade. You cannot take any of those. That's fine. We're going to kill this thing. We're going to do it. And then figure out how we can get rid of the leg injury. I'm going to straight up pull those same tokens out of the bag. Draw 2 more cards. Oh no, my good leg! Draw 2 more. Ooh, good things this time. Excellent. Hi, Ripley. What are you doing back there? Oh, jeez. I know, weirdness. It's devastating, isn't it? The creature howls as Silas manages to get his feet under it, and they continue to struggle as he hopes to just knock it back into the water. Hello, Saren! Welcome to Doomed. Shockingly, no. I can't believe it. The last scenario and the scenario before that both ended in, I'm going to say tears, but, the story continues. Silas isn't dead. He's just very, very injured. And his leg injury is bad. But it's the same kind of creature that leapt out of the water at him now. Yeah. Okay, we're going again. 5-2. -1. No problem. We kill the deep one. which I'll definitely take. But of course, if you have questions, Sarah, and if I can sum up this story for you so far, or anything like that, just let me know. Excuse me? That's my modem. I need that for streaming. Good God. I might trick the cats out of here momentarily and get some more water or something. Actually, I think I am going to do that. I'm going to be right back. I'll just refill my water and so on. Don't go anywhere. Doom's continuing in literally just about 2 moments. All right, as always, because I do not have the chat on screen, Crosshair, thank you for the reminder, but I didn't actually remember to do it, so there you go. Oh, you're not even here. Fantastic, don't worry about it. I do need to shout out a couple excellent comments here in the chat. Roger Twy says, gotta drop the deep ones off at the wharf, which is, like, magnificent. Roger Twy, huge fan. And Weirdness also points out, accurately, might I add, we're going to be right back on Doomed after I usher out the souls of the damned, aka the Chaos Cats. Well, we are back. We're returned. I am thrilled to report that Silas is somehow still alive, even against those monstrous beasts. Now, what the heck was I doing? Right, we had the leg injury. Bad news bears. I do want this thing, aka clue, which I think means I'm going to investigate. I could also just try for the dreams. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Ooh. Yes, okay, this is a good move. Well, sorry, it's a decent move anyway. Panting and gasping for air as they manage to launch the creature back into the water where it sort of sinks and swims away. Silas takes stock. Jacob Morrison's shaking his head. Oh, what the hell was that thing? Not like I haven't seen it before. He sort of stretches. Welcome, Thelia. Welcome to Doomed. Happy to have you here. Just to catch you up very briefly, Silas Marsh, the sailor, this guy, is moving through Innsmouth, trying to get out. He's trying to get to the railroad station at the end, but some sort of horrible deep ones have been, well, they've taken over the town. They've set up barricades everywhere, and it's absolutely disastrous. So he is attempting to find his way through. He just fought off a little monster, and hopefully there will be no more of those. Last action here, I'm going to, perhaps foolishly, attempt to clear dreams. Now that he's, killed the thing, I think he is going to attempt to shake off the omen of things to come, this feeling that he can't shake of despair. I have 1 will because of it. I'm testing against 3. Commit the keepsake to be 2. Commit true understanding to be 3 to 2. 3 to 3. And true understanding is going to be useful here. Also, Silas has a penis key. There it is. It's kind of tapered. 3 to 3. Bless. I got very excited. Ancient Covenant lets me stop drawing tokens after this, so I will... Oh, I should have removed a Bless token before. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to remove one now. That's fine. Okay, Dreams goes away. We get our sanity back. True Understanding fires. Discover a clue at your location. Deep ones and the thing. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Very good Weirdness. It lets me discover a clue at my location. As Silas kind of considers what might be going on here, he has a horrible realization. The creatures that have taken over the town, if they're this organized, then they must have been planning this from the beginning, and perhaps also we have had help. It's definitely not power play. That's for sure. Okay, so we've still got this leg injury. No bueno, but no enemies on the board. We draw a card. We gain a resource. Nautical prowess. I also have 3 clues, which means I can spend them to get rid of barriers. 4 out of 6 doom. We're still at the bridge. Depending on what happens here, we can move west to the square, which is the middle of the town. We could move down to the slums, which apparently has information about the state of the town. Or, well, we could move west and then down to the jail. The police must have an idea of what's going on, and it may be worth talking to one of the Innsmouth inmates. It has a key on it, and that key represents information about Joyce Little, the bookshop owner. And I kind of want to go there, but I think I'll probably pass through the square to get there. Well, but that's... It's true weirdness. Yep, we're not allowed to reuse investigators on Doomed. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. Well, because Jenny's already had her adventure. 2 adventures, I should say. We're at 4 out of 6 Doom. We're going to draw an encounter card. Inundated. Oh, place a barrier between this location and each connecting location with no barriers. Well, that sucks because the water level rises quite literally all of a sudden, absolutely out of control, as it rushes up over the top of part of the bridge. Silas and what's his name? Silas and Jacob scramble to higher ground and look desperately around. Are they going to head down to the slums, which are probably underwater at this point, or west, higher ground, the square? Go back to our turn. I have a leg injury, which is not ideal. Can't clear it right yet, but that's okay. So I could action, put 2 more curses in the bag, and then move. Or I could free trigger, spend 2 clues to remove a barrier. It did not crosshair, and I'm hardly surprised. I could also... No, I'd have to clear a barrier. So I'm going to clear this barrier, and I think I'm going to... No, I'm not going to save my clues. I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 2 clues to free trigger remove a barrier, and we're going to move west into Innsmouth Square. From your vantage point, you see a red bus parked in the square. Getting a ride would be a tremendous help in Exactly, Saren. Gotta go west. Getting a ride would be a tremendous help in escaping this infested, decrepit town. Uh-oh. Then you hear a petrifying sound emanating from the square. A thunderous, deep growl that gives you second thoughts about proceeding. Oh, and I can't even... Uh-oh. We're gonna reveal it. 4 shroud, 1 clue. Forced. After this location is revealed, spawn the set-aside Innsmouth Shoggoth at this location, exhausted. Now, of course, unfortunately, I can't move because of the leg injury, which really sucks. We're going to read that in a second. Action, parlay. Move a barrier between this location so that it is between this location and a different location. Interesting. Not a Shoggoth. Where's Jenny? Free trigger if the investigators control 2 or more keys. Read flashback 5. Damn. Wish I had more. Victory 1. Well, I could get a clue at the jail. Okay, let's have a look here. Wow, that is a horrific monster. What is this thing, anyway? Good lord, a massive hunter. 3 fight, 4 health, 2 evade. Ben. It gets plus 2 health. Okay, so it's 362. When it moves via its hunter keyword, it ignores all barriers because it just smashes through them. Forced. After it moves, remove each barrier it moved through. Interesting. Victory 1. Hits for 2 damage and 2 horror. Well, it's exhausted, which is good. The leg injury that Silas is hobbling around on is preventing me from moving again. So I can't move, which is really not ideal. I think, though, what I'm going to do... So I can't move. So I could try to get the clue, and then I could start... Maybe I could rearrange barriers? I could rearrange these barriers to move them, like, over here, maybe? It doesn't really change things. I'm going to have to, like... Oh, God. I'm going to have to kick this thing's ass, but I don't know how. Can I take 2 damage and 2 horror? Yep. Just kill old Jacob Morris. Actually, not necessarily. We can definitely survive. It's exhausted, right? Yeah. So, we'll try to get the clue. and then we'll start beating on this thing. And hopefully we draw into brute force. That's what the hope is. Or do I want to... No, I want the clue while I have a chance to get it. Like it said, a thunderous, deep growl gives you second thoughts about proceeding, but looking towards the bus, suddenly it is eclipsed by a shadow. Jacob and Silas look up to see, what is the cloud cover that's covered it, but it's not a cloud, it is a monster. An absolute beastly creature with many arms and legs scuttling around the square. It hasn't noticed them yet, but I think it might. Weirdness, you're right, and it's exhausted, which means it can't hit back, so I'm just going to punch it. Well, no, I'm going to try to get this... What would I could get back. Keep Faith. It does, doesn't it, Saren? I could get Keep Faith back and play Keep Faith again. That seems pretty good. No, I want to keep my resources. Yeah, let's just punch it. I do want the clue. So let's try to get the clue first. I have 2 intellect against the 4 intellect of this location. I'm going to use nautical prowess. This clue here on this location, in my mind, represents, again, like, it's not information about the townsfolk, but he's scouting out ways of getting away from this monster if he could. Perhaps small alleys that it can't fit down. He's trying to get a sense of the square's geometry and geography right away. So I'm rocking 4 intellect, 4 to 4, 0. If a negative modifier is revealed, it is not. So I could pull it back and use Jacob to pass. I think I'm going to do that, actually. Isn't that wild? I'm going to take nautical prowess back to hand, exhaust Jacob to pass. Jacob has the exact same idea as Silas. Yeah, you get +2 skill value. Back to 4th, end to end. Look at that. Yeah, 0 was the first prediction. There you go. Not bad, Crosshair, not bad. With the information, they sort of scope out their best position, and then they pick up a few heavy rocks. They're hoping to pelt it at the creature and maybe tangle it up as it then will charge towards them. Last action, I'm going to try to punch this thing, because it is indeed a time-honored tradition. 4 combat against 3... I have 4 combat against the 3 of the creature. I'm just going to go. I don't think it makes a huge difference. 4 to 3? Okay. Are the tokens still in the bag? Yes. 1 damage. I'm going to be sitting here forever just pecking away at this thing. Enemy phase. There are no ready enemies on the board. Upkeep phase. We ready... The Innsmouth Shoggoth roars and charges towards them as Silas and Jacob retreat into a small alley. It's a massive enemy, so it's at this location. Upkeep draws me a card and gains me a resource, but not Jacob Morrison. Another Keep Faith. I don't have a window to play it right now, but I will at the beginning of my next turn. We go to 5 out of 6 Doom already, but we're, I want to say halfway. I kind of need to go down to the jail to get this black key. Urgh. Encounter card is Undertow. Less good. If your location is unflooded, it gains Surge. Well, okay, so there's no Undertow here because there's no things here. But of course the Riptide. Oh, no, if your location is unflooded, it gains Surge. Okay, no problem. Here we go. The Innsmouth Look. You bastards. Ugh, horrible. You get -1 intellect and -1 sanity. You gain the Deep One trait. Test Will 3. If you succeed, discard the Innsmouth Look. Well, so Thelia, it's time-honored in the sense that Crosshair, when Crosshair was playing Jenny Barnes, the roguish lady with all the weird clocks and clock magic. Well. Where is this? Yeah! Aragwen, thank you very much. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. The Time Lady, exactly. Look, Saren, you do what you can, okay? Aragorn, quick catch up. We're back in the present. Silas is running through Innsmouth, which has been blocked off with barricades. An army of these fish creatures, the deep ones, have like started they've barricaded the town and are patrolling, trying to do their best to keep it under lock and key. Silas has found help from the Coast Guard captain, Jacob Morrison, although he doesn't quite know why, but I'm sure they'll figure that out. Excuse me. And he's just found himself in the town square with an absolutely massive enemy here. Have I run out of music? I have. It calls for some of that. So if I evade, I can't move. Good thing he's got pecs. Exactly. He's got pecs. This guy's got the rain slicker and probably a pretty rockin' bod underneath as well. This guy is wearing a suit and tie under his rain slicker, which I love. Okay. The Innsmouth look is bad news. I don't like that. Not one bit. First things first, fast, keep faith. Silas reaches into his pocket and finds that heirloom. It's not an heirloom, it's a talisman of protection. He grips it and says a quick little sailor's prayer. Oh, yeah, right, sorry. I totally forgot to finish that story, Thelia. So Jenny Barnes, the clock lady that Crosshair was playing the other day on Doomed, she used to just go up to these beasts and just kind of punch them a bunch. Really, really odd. If I take damage in horror, I could get rid of leg injury, but I don't really want to do that. I could just evade and, like, keep punching it, right? WWJD. What would Jenny do? And the answer is punching. I wish I had more draw and stuff. I can't evade and move. I need to take damage in order to use bandages. So I could move and take an attack of opportunity, which I would then heal my leg injury. But like, then this thing is gonna charge in and crush me next turn. That doesn't feel good. So instead, we're going to attempt to evade it, and then we're going to punch it a whole bunch. I have 4 agility against the 2 of the Shoggoth. It is, again, prowling through the town square, trying to find a way into claw and rend at Silas and Jacob. But the 2 sailors are keeping their distance. They're trying to find weapons with which to attack it. 4 to 2. Do I want to commit anything to this? Nope. No, I don't. 4 to 2. Good. Evaded. And now I can... Whoa. I can punch it. Oh no, disappointing news. You bought a pear lotion. Aragorn says, I bought a pear lotion that I thought was going to be a strong scent, but it's very faint in practice. You have to snort your nostrils against your skin. Otherwise, it just smells like soap clean skin. That's boring. It is boring. It is nice, Aragorn, but it's nice in the sense of like, wow, I have been out for like a day and a half, camping, working in the sun, running, whatever. I'm sweaty as hell, and it's horrible. Soap, fresh skin at that point, that's nice. But you're right. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, okay. I do like the idea of you being like, guys, no, but seriously, smell me. You know? All right, let's punch this Shoggoth a few times, huh? 3 to 2. 4 to 3, sorry. Well, I just made up some numbers there. 4 to 3, and I don't want to commit resourceful. There's too much stuff. No, I want the unrelenting back. I'm going to commit resourceful. 5 to 3. Ah! I can't do anything about that. I can play lucky. Passed. Oof. Yeah, exactly, Aragorn. That's a good point. Ooh, Requiem. I mean, I'm not going to say I love it, but it is pretty cool. Oh, this brings back Unrelenting to hand, which I'll take. I mean, creepy as hell, but we'll allow it. This goes, 2 damage goes on the Shoggoth as Silas manages to find another rock and hurl it towards the creature. It sort of screeches and scuttles away. Jacob Morrison seems to be planning some sort of attack. He's trying to climb up the side of a building so he can get some height. Sarian actually does make a good point. Pear is honestly quite a mild smell, right? Ooh, monster train. Okay, last thing. Action. Silas doesn't just give up. We're fighting at 5-3, but I'm gonna pull 3 tokens out of this bag. Ooh, that's a lot of bad stuff tokens. Ay, yoy. Oh my god. We're gonna do this so that we can draw some cards. Where's the +1? There it is. Woof. This allows me to draw 2 cards. Wow! Ooh, take heart. It's good if you fail. So we're fighting at 5-3. Another time. Curse. Draw another token. 0? -2. Okay. Curse comes out of the bag. We fail. I'm going to use Silas's ability, however, to return it to my hand. Well, I mean, crosshair. Yeah, we figured. Okay, the Shoggoth is at 2 out of 6. Is that 2 damage out of 6 health? It seems to be injured, but it is still incredibly dangerous. We go to the No, that was the investigation phase. Upkeep. We draw a card. We gain a resource. Excellent news. It's brute force. I really wanted that. Okay, we're getting somewhere, folks. We're going to finish this thing off. We're going to take care of it. Unless we move to Mythos and we advance the agenda. Agenda 1B, chased by deep ones. Uh-oh. The tide creeps in as you make your way through the decrepit streets. You hear the blood-curdling cries of someone in agony up ahead. Help me, my leg! Well, way to undercut that tension, Scott. The moment you see the creatures patrolling the intersection, you hide in the broken-down doorway of a ruined building. Their unusual gait and croaking voices send shivers through your body. Even as the slapping of their webbed feet against the road fades into the distance, you cannot escape the feeling that, inevitably, they will find you. Increase the flood level of each coastal location. The coast was over here, so they're all going to become fully flooded. Are these coastal locations? Yes. So they all get half-flood locations, or tokens. And am I at a coastal location? No. Shuffle each set aside Ravager from the Deep and Young Deep One into the deck with the discard. Oh my god, what the... Oh god. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. A wind chime. That's fair, Aragorn. I think I actually got very lucky. We hung a housewarming gift. We got a nice one that I hung outside on a tree branch, not thinking about the fact that, like, it's probably pretty disturbing to neighbors, but it barely rings. I ring it manually when I walk by, and if it's quite windy, it rings, but it's not bad. Agenda 2A, Relentless Tide. It had not seen me, but was simply obeying a general plan of cutting off my escape. This, however, implied that all roads leading out of Innsmouth were similarly patrolled. Good to know what you want, Aragorn. That's what I have to say. Something about suspects, I don't care. Forced when your turn ends, if you're at a fully flooded location, take a damage and a horror. 5 doom. We're going to draw an encounter card right here, and I'm not going to say what I'm hoping it's not. I'm just hoping to defeat this horrible beast shortly as well. But of course it's an enemy. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. This is the emerging deep one. Obviously, the creatures that Silas heard scuttling about have returned, drawn by the roaring sounds of the Shoggoth in the square. Emerging deep one enters play exhausted and unengaged, unless its location is fully flooded. After it engages you, if your location is flooded, it attacks you. Okay, so it enters play unengaged. Aragorn's still mad about it. Has anyone seen in the wild, for real, one of those musical instruments that sort of plays itself? I don't remember what they're called, but it's like a wind... I mean, it's a woodwind, obviously, but it's like it's a series of tubes that play tones. So rather than chimes that kind of hit things, like are percussed This is like a wind tube situation, which is very cool. I'm sorry, Aragwen. I'm really sorry. Okay. The creature has not yet spotted Silas. So we have time to defeat this thing and get the hell out of here. So my hope is defeat the thing and get the hell out of here. You know what, Aragwen? I don't even know what it is, okay? But look, it's like a wind chime, but instead of being percussed to play notes, it is a woodwind. It is blown through, but you don't play it. The wind plays it. It's very cool. Oh, fuck off, all of you. Let's do it. Let's party. This creature... Okay. So here's what we're going to do. What I want to do is fight it once. And then we're going for a finishing blow. So I'm going to fight it. 5-3. Is this a bad move? I think it's probably a bad move, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go 5-3, and we're going to remove some tokens from the bag here. Because I need to pass this is the problem. So you know what? Rather than drawing more cards, I'm going to remove tokens that could fail me. Yeah. Just looking at what the board state looks like here. A -3. A tablet. Where are you, tablets? I can't see the tablet. And the -4. Ooh, Saren, so that's cool, because that's like a homemade version of what I'm talking about, which is very, very cool. I mean, it would sound creepy as hell, though. Silas manages to pop out in the end of the alley, and he waves his arms to get the attention of the creature. He pitches a rock at it to see if he can destroy it. I'm 5-3. Curse. Draw another token. Curse. Draw another token. Ooh! Okay, so we remove 2 curses from the bag. Unrelenting is gonna come back to hand. I really needed to pass that test. I guess I didn't really need to. We're gonna go again. I'm basically gonna do the same thing because I'm hoping this last attack is gonna be a big old brute force. I agree, Crosshair. It was like, oh, you're cursed, and you were never gonna make it in the first place. Man, this leg injury too. And there's like a horrible creature here now as well. Like, just everything is going disastrously. Just gonna be daring maybe instead. No, I want to keep daring for this thing. You know what? Let's go for the big hit now, and then we'll finish it off with a smaller blast later. Yeah, weirdness. Oh, but like you don't have space sort of outside, I guess, eh? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be daring, and we're gonna use some brute force to try to take this creature out. Silas, seeing it rush towards him, he manages to sidestep the creature. He's found, what would it be? What kind of weapon would you find in an alleyway? A broken bottle, and maybe a trash can lid as sort of semi-shield. He's going to try to deflect the creature's arms, smash the bottle over its head, and then, using the pointy end, stab it in the eyes. So, I'm fighting at 4-3. Brute Force says, while it's committed during a basic fight action, it gains 2 combat icons, so 4, 5, 6, 7-3. If this test is successful by 2 or more, it deals extra damage. 7-3, daring is even more, 10-3. And we're gonna do it. 10-3. Okay, come on, Shoggoth. Huh! Bless. Ancient Covenant, Jacob Morrison readies. Works for me. Remove the bless token from the bag. We do 3 damage to this creature. Daring draws me a card. I go in the bin. Last action, I want to destroy this creature. I want to finish this off. I think this is the right play. Yeah, we're gonna fight it one more time. 4-3 seems a bit foolish. Yeah, I know, Thelia. You know, it's tough out here. Silas is just doing what he can to survive. right? He doesn't have the brains of other investigators or sort of like the martial prowess. He's been living on a ship for years now. Not that he remembers a lot of it. And I think once the adrenaline sort of stops kicking in, he's going to be that leg injury is going to be horrible. We're going to fight again, 5-3, and I'm asking you once again to pull some chaos tokens out of the bag. Tablet, -3. Shuffle that up. So we're going 5-3 last time. -X. X is the number of barriers between your location and connecting locations. Just 2. I was 2 up. Last point of damage. Okay. Thank you, Unrelenting, for your service. The smashing bottle and the stabbing of this creature's flesh and face causes it to howl in pain. Jacob Morrison has indeed managed to find a long sort of staff-like object, and while the creature is staggering around, runs up behind it and starts to basically swat it, smash it over the head until it lies motionless on the cobblestone. One victory point. And a dead Shoggoth. Punched to death. No bad thing. Enemy phase, there are no ready enemies, but during upkeep, the emerging deep one readies, which says, after it engages you, if your location is flooded, it attacks you, but it's not. That's okay. We also draw a card and gain a resource. Cherished keepsake. Okay, this might be a good opportunity to get rid of the leg injury here. I know. How cute. 2, actually, Crosshair. 3, actually, Crosshair. The Fish Street Bridge and the Innsmouth Square. Now we're starting to approach Jenny levels. We go to 1 out of 5 Doom. As Silas is staring down yet another creature, although this one seems to be much smaller and much more easily distracted. Yeah, Inner Aquaman. Draw an encounter card. It's another goddamn deep one. Now, this is actually good. After it engages, you take a damage. I'm going to take a damage and put it on me. I'm going to use the bandages, they don't exhaust, to heal a damage from me, which will heal leg injury. So not bad. The croaking from the deep one at having found Silas and the massive corpse of this Shoggoth draws other fish-like creatures towards the square. Silas is suddenly regretting his decision to search higher ground here in the wide open space of the square. Yeah, it's starting to look kind of bad. But we've healed the leg injury, we slapped some bandages on it. Ooh, it does, doesn't it? It really does. I can't actually tell if that's like a curtain or a mirror or something. Or not a mirror, but like a curtain or maybe just a wall. But you're absolutely right. Like, look how clean that mirror is too, eh? I mean, horrible. And it's going okay, Crosshair. I mean, maybe not great, but... Okay, what's the game plan here, Silas? Silas, old buddy, old pal? We no longer need to provoke some attacks of opportunity. I could kick this lurking deep one's ass and then evade the emerging deep one. And then next turn I would have to do it again. What I really need is to recur my damage, but I can't. You're gonna be a star, Froggy. Look at you. Look at you. It doesn't matter if you've got bulging eyes or little gills. You're gonna be a star, baby. Well, I have to assume that I'm going to be able to, you know, get an Elder Sign at some point, please. So we're going to attack the Lurking Deep One. I have 4 combat against the 2 of the combat of the thing. Let's just do it. 4-2. Okay. Well, you know, I should have committed a take heart. I'll use Jacob Morrison to pass. Okay. Jacob manages to whirl the staff around and kind of drive off the deep one here. I mean, this isn't looking great, I'll be honest. Second action, we're going to fight again. I have 4 combat. I'd love it if I could have more damage. I'll commit take heart to this just in case I fail. 4 to 2. Blesses a pass. Readies Jacob. And we kill the deep one. Oh, 100% Aragwen. I also like this story a lot, but I agree with you. I'm not... Like, I know what's happening here, but it's silly, right? There's a storm coming! Bam! Oh, I didn't fail, so I'm going to take heart back to hand here. I mean, fantastic, right? Again, I think this creature's kind of like croaks have drawn more creatures to the square, which, like, we've been stuck here for so many turns. Like, I need to get the heck out of here. I need to run down to the jail to get the key to try to get more information and then get the hell out of here. But for now, we're not in bad position. I don't want to take a damage in a horror. If I'm going to evade. 4 to 1. A bless. I can't stop it this time, so I'm going to let it roll. And a -2. Oh, damn. So I keep forgetting. Actually, sorry, I have to redraw that because I forgot to take the bless out of the bag. I have to redraw this. 4 to 1. We're going again. Okay. Still a pass. So we're going to exhaust the creature and leave it here. I mean, different strokes, right, Crosshair? It's a different feel. This is the sailor returns home, he doesn't remember why, but he's returned home. He's been hired as sort of like a disposable agent to try to find a much more valuable asset in the town, and he's been embroiled further and further in the conspiracy of the town, although he does not remember why yet. Evaded creature. We go enemy phase, no ready enemies. Upkeep, we draw a card and gain a resource. That's a good one. Survival instinct. Emerging deep one re-engages us. We go back to the mythos phase. I really need to, like, get moving here. We go to 2 out of 5 doom. In the square, maybe we can hop on this bus. That would be nice. We draw an encounter card. Rising tides. Increase the flood level of the nearest location that can have its flood level increased. Well, that's here. But that's here! The tide continues to pour down the street. The Fish Street Bridge had been inundated, and water starts to slosh along the square. Now, you know, Silas is not a climatologist or a scientist, really, of any kind, but he knows when a town is going under, and this town is not long for this world. They have to get out of here now. We go back to the mythos phase. I am gonna just kill this thing this turn. I think that's what we gotta do. And then we'll be able to go try to get this key. I want to try to get rid of the Innsmouth look too at some point. Oh, maybe. Not yet. We gotta kill this thing. So we're gonna fight it. 4 to 3. I'll commit take heart again. Not hoping to fail, but 4 to 3. Okay, so I passed, which means I will take it back to hand. Between Silas and Jacob, they managed to drive off one of the deep ones, one of the creatures, but the other one is still kind of croaking and growling and trying to summon more of its compatriots. Silas still has the basically butt end of a broken wine bottle, and he sort of tries to slash at this creature, hoping to drive it away, if not, perhaps cut something even more important. 4 to 3, we're going to go again, and I'll commit take heart again. This time I failed, and I'm happy to let that ride, because I'm going to draw 2 cards and gain 2 resources, which is good. A meat cleaver, excellent. The meat cleaver in this case will be a broken bottle. Unless he goes into a shop and finds a meat cleaver, I don't know. Last action, we're going to go again and fight once more. We're going to go 4 to 3. Skull, -1 for each location to the east of you, which would be a fail. So I'll exhaust Jacob to pass. I know I talked through that really fast, but trust me. Okay, we've managed to clear the board of a few different deep ones and the Shoggoth. Silas stands in the square, breathing heavily, sort of fish, dark blood dripping off his body. He checks. It's not his. Thank God. It's must be from the creatures that lie dead around him. Oh. I like that weirdness. I'd never heard of that before. One of the podcasts I listen to is Arkham themed. I know. And the one of the two hosts is currently playing through Crosshair, Dark Matter, the space campaign, and he's never played it before. He doesn't even know what it's about. He's done 3 scenarios so far. Now, this dude knows how to play Arkham. Like, he's treating it like a puzzle. He's trying to win. He's playing an investigator with a lot of great cards, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But it's still really cool to hear his take on, like, oh, and then you have to rearrange the things. Whoa. Oh, children's brain in a computer. Whoa. You know, it's very cool to hear. Okay, well, we've managed to waste a lot of time. Enemy phase, no enemies. Upkeep phase, we draw a card and gain a resource. Inquiring Mind. I'm going to reorganize my hand because I've got a lot of crap in here. A lot of stuff, actually. Woof. Look at all this. Am I full up? Full up hand. Mythos phase. 3 out of 5 doom. I gotta get to the jail cell, folks. Like stat. Draw an encounter card. Innsmouth, Troublemaker. Ugh. So no longer a deep one. This is one of the townsfolk of Innsmouth. The fishmongery is afoot. It spawns at the location with the most clues, which is... Ooh, there's a bunch of places with 1. I'm going to put it way the hell back there. Because it's a hunter, and as we recall, hunters will hunt along the path that has no... Okay, so there's currently no path with no barriers, but that's okay. So it'll skip a barrier and then... No, whatever. It's going to come for us, but that's okay. You would think so, Crosshair. I think he's played enough that, like... I think a lot of it is second nature, right? He's like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, I think I should... But he talks out a lot of his process, which is cool, and he puts effort into making the story interesting, which I like. Haha, haha, Thelia. Now, of course, Silas can't see the troublemaker, but a small gang of Innsmouth residents have met up on the coast where they think someone managed to get out, and they're going to try hunting back into town to try to find them. That was a bit of a gimme, so I'll take it. We're going to, first action, move down to the jail. The police must have an idea of what's going on, and it may be worth talking to one of the inmates. I did it again. 3 shroud, 1 clue. Action, spend 3 resources. Parlay, remove a barrier. Free trigger, if you control the black key. Parlay, read flashback 8. Well, hell yeah. We're going to get this clue. And then we're going to maybe get rid of the Innsmouth look. And then we'll figure out where we're at from there. A school of ruffians. Now, Thelia, is that a fish joke? Yes! I love it. Okay. Oh, I also really want to... I think I need to put down the meat cleaver. I really want the clue. I'm going to put down the meat cleaver first, because I think having a weapon is going to be useful. Silas heads into the jail with Jacob in tow. They manage to find some weaponry there as they head in to question... well... anyone who's still in the jail, right? Any officers of the law. It doesn't seem to have been overrun yet. So what I'd like to do next is investigate this location. Last action, I have 2 intellect against the 3 shroud of the location. I'm going to use nautical prowess, which takes me up 4 to 3. 4 to 3. 4 to 3, and I have a lucky. I think I'll be okay. we're looking for any information here in the jail regarding Joyce Little, who we remember was using this place as a hideout. Yeah, exactly. You're there to solve problems with clocks and bombs and anything that you can get a hold of, Crosshair. Oh, no, I have 1 intellect. So now I'm at 3 to 3. Well, that's less good. I'll commit Inquiring Mind. Did I? I haven't used my ability this turn. No. So 1, 4, 5, 6 to 3. Cultist, -2. So I can use my ability. I'd be at... I'm just thinking about how this works. I can draw a card and then take it back to hand. Yeah. Clocks, bombs, flamethrowers, 13 action turns. Your luck! How dare you? I need this luck. Silas is, you know, there's no time really to venture further into the jail to explore it in full, but perhaps there's someone still here and he's just curious enough. Why was Joyce Little sort of set up with having captured Agent Harper here? So Silas can take a card back to hand. I'm going to use Nautical Prowess to draw a card, and then I will take it back to hand. Because I don't need it? No, I do need it, don't I? Yeah. Because I have 1, 4, 6 intellect. -2 is 4 to 3. So yeah, I can't afford to lose another piece. That's okay. That's fine. We get the clue. And we get the key. And it says... Whoops. I should probably make sure I can see all the keys that I have, just in case. Yeah, different... It absolutely. Storytelling. Look, I'm trying to make this campaign all about telling the best stories possible, but, you know, sometimes inspiration strikes and sometimes it doesn't. And for those times when it doesn't, I get to do a thing like this. Read Flashback 8 in the campaign guide. Whoa, where is it? 6, 7, 8. You stand... I'm going to hide the rest of it from all you prying... I don't know, it's fine. Whatever, just don't read the other one. You stand in front of Innsmouth's jail warden, a stocky, middle-aged man whose wrinkled flesh is slick with oil. Ugh. His stench is almost worse than the rank odor of the jailhouse. "See for yourself," the warden says, pointing down the dank hall. You came here to visit the culprit who kidnapped Agent Harper, only to be informed by the warden that the suspect had escaped the previous night. You hustle down the hall, fist clenched. There's no way they could have escaped on their own. They must have had help. And it could have come from anybody. It could have even been the warden himself. Given the way the townsfolk have impeded your investigation at every turn, it almost seems like the entire town is against you. A conspiracy, perhaps? You round the corner and come face to face with the kidnapper's erstwhile jail cell. Not only is it empty, but its bars are bent outward from the middle, enough to fit a human through, or perhaps something even larger. You inspect the bars and find them to be solid steel, so thick that no human could bend them. Well, except perhaps our thick sailor Silas. How could they possibly have gotten out? In your campaign log, under Memories Recovered, record a jailbreak. Don't mind if I do. That's bad news because it means Joyce Little is on the hunt again. Choose and remove one of the following chaos tokens from the bag for the remainder of the campaign. Cultist Tablet Elder Thing. It's absolutely an Elder Thing is coming out of the bag. They're not that bad here, but there's 2 of them, and they're kind of the worst generally, so bye-bye. Thrilling. Weirdness, hey, look. You know, you could outsource the asking and answering. Guys, I'm thinking about doing a campaign where you do this. Oh, well, maybe what if you did that? Oh, that's exciting. Okay, we have the black key. We got information about the prisoner. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So, enemy phase, Hunter's Hunt. The Innsmouth Troublemaker doesn't have a clear path to us, so it will avoid barriers and just move west 1. Upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. Deck's looking awful thin already. Got a weapon down, which is nice. I'll definitely take that. And we go to the mythos phase. Again, 4 out of 5 doom. We draw an encounter card. Undertow. My location is unflooded. I'm just trying to find the best story here. Here we go. Pulled back. Well, that's bad. Stepping outside the jail. The confusion has continued. Jacob is questioning Silas. Who did you say was in that jail cell, and why? What, you know, he's trying to piece it together as well. When suddenly, from the east, claws, long sort of tentacles reach out and try to grab Silas. Is he quick enough to avoid them? Test Will 3. If you fail, move to the east, ignoring all barriers. Then place each key you control on your location. Well, I don't want to fail this, so how do we pass? We commit a meat cleaver, and, oh god, we have Lucky. That's a good card, I've heard. Gonna regret this. We commit the keepsake. We're up to 4. 4 to 3. Gotta be careful, Thelia. Here it comes. 4 to 3! Wow. Good thing I committed all those cards. Despite his speed, another one throws out of the alley as well. We move to the east, ignoring all barriers. Place each key you control on that location. Well, actually, I haven't been here, so maybe it'll be interesting. Which also, of course, puts us in contact with the troublemaker, so that's nice. The shorewards, the tentacles don't seem to belong to a creature because Silas manages to force his way, he manages to chop his way out of it and ends up in the slums, surrounded by a gang of very tough, scary-looking inhabitants. That's true, Crosshair, good point. Forced, after this location is revealed, randomly choose a key and place it here. Oh shit, well, actually, yeah, there's a bunch of keys here now. Ah, free trigger, take 1 damage. Parlay. Oh, I have clues. That'll be okay. Remove a barrier. So I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to use the clues to remove barriers. Because I gotta go. We do not have time to be farting around here. Oh, this is where the keys hang out. Well, it said the Shoreward Slums was the place where most of the information about the town could be found, right? So, however, we have more pressing issues to deal with here. The Troublemaker. Spawns at the location with the most clue. Oh, no, it's here. Place one of your clues on your location. Parlay, exhaust it. It does not ready during the next one. Yes, you could, Crosshair. Free trigger. Well, yeah, because, yeah, if after an investigator or ally takes damage, spend a supply to heal that damage. So I could save my clues, even. I'm wondering if I want to... I want the clue here. Clues, I'm kind of hoping to look what I've found, maybe, out of this. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna risk it a little bit. Place one of your clues on your location. Parlay, exhaust the Troublemaker. It does not ready during the next upkeep phase. So I'm kind of moving backwards here. But the reason I'm doing this, I'll explain my reasoning here. Silas is not in the mood to fight both monsters in the town and also the people, the populace. He's going to explain that he's just trying to find his way out. They're suspicious of him, but at least this goon doesn't seem to know who he is. RJ Cody, hello, welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you. Yeah, it's wonderful to have you. Happy to have you here. Silas Marsh the Sailor is here with his newfound chum, Jacob Morrison, the Coast Guard Captain, yar. They are rushing through the town of Innsmouth, which has been overrun by fish-human hybrid Deep One creatures, which have been putting up barricades all over town to slow him down. Second action, I'm going to try to investigate this location. I still have one... Yeah, I have 1 intellect, but this is gonna go well. we're going to investigate at 1 to 2. But watch this. Boop. That's kind of literally the only card I didn't want to see. I'll explain why momentarily here, or right now. Look what I found says, play after you fail a skill test by 2 or less, whatever. Discover 2 clues. I didn't fail, I passed. So I get 1 clue back. So now I've just kind of wasted my time. And we're gonna go again, folks. Now I have to pass. I'm gonna use... Oh, what am I gonna take? What am I gonna try to get back with resourceful? Oh, more bless tokens, of course. We're gonna investigate here. Now I'm 2 to 2, and of course now it's gonna go really badly for me. No diggity doubt. Last one, investigate, 2 to 2. What is this? Tablet, -3. If you fail, choose a connecting location with no barriers. Place a barrier. Well, this is it, weirdness. This is it. I need to... Is there anything I can do about this? I have 2 intellect with the resourceful. -3 brings me down to -1, so I can't pass even with a lucky, so it's not worth it. I'll take the resourceful back to hand. I have to place a barrier... Oh, well, I'm totally blocked off anyway. And getting very, very slowed down here. Upkeep. The Troublemaker half readies. We draw a card and gain a resource. Unexpected Courage. That's fine, I guess. Oh, I can't believe I fucked that up so bad. I mean, life messed it up, you know? Let me go to 5 out of 5 Doom. Silas is desperately trying to find a sound sculpture Aeolian harp. Yes! Aeolian harp is the term, Saren. My god, Saren, how long have you been looking for this? Tubes that wind blows through and it makes sound hanging outside. Awesome, Saren. Thoughts, feelings? I think they sound pretty cool from what I've heard. I'd love to have one. Okay. Silas is desperately trying to find his way back west through the town, through the square, out of here. He's just trying to run at this point. Mythos, right, of course we advance the act. Agenda 2B. Pursued by townsfolk. Great. A crowd gathers in the town square. At first you are relieved to see faces not bearing hideous monstrous features, the prodigious bulging eyes, wide jaws filled with sharp jagged teeth, the gills, fins, and webbings that suggest something fish-like and inhuman. Then you hear one voice rise above the din, and your heart turns to ice. The time is nigh. The order of Dagon commands you. Ye slay the outsiders and any who stand in our way, and you shall be rewarded. You shall be remade and share in the riches of the deep, a robed man shouts. The crowd rejoices in jubilant madness. Have I ever, RJ? We don't know what they do. The problem with this campaign, which is actually very exciting, is that we've lost our memory. So Silas doesn't know anything other than what he's discovered and what memories have come back to him. But yes, there is the Esoteric Order of Dagon is a cult in town. We don't know what it does. Increase the flood level of each mid-town location. Well, mid-town, it's definitely these middle locations. Are these also mid-town? Yep. Good. Lots of half-flooded locations. And are we also standing on one? Yes, so now they're all fully flooded here. Great. Spawn the set-aside Angry Mob at the square. Randomly choose one of the set-aside face-down keys and place it on the mob. Ah! Do that there. Just keep swimming. Hello to you, the eyes of Tammy Faye. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome to Doomed. I need to put a key on this mob. Angry Mob. 3 health. 3 health. 3 fight, 4 health, 3 evade. It's a massive hunter enemy with Retaliate, because if you try to fight them, they will mob you. Sure. It gets plus 4 health, so it's actually got 8 health. It cannot make attacks of opportunity. That's great news. That is great news, actually. So, there's at least that. It's got a key on it. I'm not going to get that key, am I? Nope. Okay, yep. Agenda 3A, Flooded Streets. As I watched, choked by a sudden rise in the fishy odor after a short abatement, I saw a band of uncouth, crouching shapes loping and shambling in the same direction. When your turn ends, if you're at a fully flooded location, take a damage, a horror, and discard a card at random from your hand. Yuck! My hope is to not end at a fully flooded location. But how, Scott? You're asking yourself. How? Great question, everyone. I guess I'm gonna get beat up by the angry mob, but... oh boy. I keep forgetting, because I also have to draw an encounter card. What's gonna happen down here? Ooh, tidal alignment. Well, this is sweet. The syzygy, the moon and sun, have sort of like lined up in the sky. Revelation. Choose a location where there is at least one investigator. Increase its flood level. I think I can't. It is currently fully flooded. We're swimming around. Each investigator at the chosen location takes a damage. Sure. If the chosen location's flood level is not increased, it gains surge. Cool. So basically, take a damage and surge. Well, I'll take a damage and heal it with the bandages, which throws them away. Thank you. And it gains surge, so we're just going to go right ahead and do that. Now this is disgusting. Deep 1 invasion. Now, of course, because Silas has perhaps wasted time fighting so many enemies, trying to survive. Oh, I see, Saren. Okay, cool. That's so funny, though, because, yeah, like, anyway, alien harps sound awesome, at least from what I remember. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. No problem. I don't mind doing that at all. Oh, is there more? Deep 1 invasion. For each location to the east of yours on the same row. Oh, okay. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a Deep 1 enemy with the Hunter keyword is discarded, and spawn it at that location. Okay, so that's just one. There's only one location to the east of me. I mean, it's not good that it's there, but... okay, and there it is, the emerging Deep 1. So the invasion continues. We're spawning an emerging Deep 1 to my east, and I'm hoping to get the hell out of here this turn. Like, stat, pick up these keys and run, basically. Yeah. Okay, see you soon, Crosshair. See you in a sec. We're going to do it. We're going to get this clue. Oh my god. Okay, Silas is being, I don't know, he's being resourceful. He's being all sorts of different things here. We're going to see if we can try to get the clue, get the keys, get the barrier out of here, run, and just keep moving. Right? Right. That's what we're going to try to do. Okay. Oh, weirdness, no. Actually, it's true, because Aragorn always jokes the other Deep 1 looks like it's raiding the fridge, or gets caught raiding the fridge. This one looks like it's maybe coming out of a fridge. It's a door, but you know what I mean. It looks like it could be a fridge. Okay. I have 1 intellect against the 2 shroud of this location. I am going to commit a bunch of shit. This Innsmouth look is bad news, but that's okay for now. It's okay for now. We're gonna go 1, 2 resourceful, 3, 4 unexpected courage. Yep. 4 to 2. Awesome. Okay. Actually, so awesome that I don't even need the courage, so I'll take it back to hand. Resourceful will fire, and I'll take a keep faith back as well. Here we go. It's all working, and everything is working. How rude. We get the clue, which also means we get what I'd like to call a helikeys. Woo! The helikeys are like a helipad, but, you know, made of keys. What other key is this? The yellow key! Awesome. He cannot hold a fork in his little flipper hands. So cute. Max has started doing a thing now where when we give him his food, we make him do a little high five, and he does it. It's very cute. I like it a lot. Okay, we got the clue. We got our keys back. Seeing or hearing the angry mob in the town square, Silas is going to and also hearing the clicks and growls of creatures emerging from the sea. Very good, Saren. I love that. Silas is going to attempt to rush back to the relative safety of the jail? Question mark, question mark. Free trigger. Keep faith to add some bless tokens. I don't mind that one bit. Yeah. I can spend 2 clue. I don't really want to take a damage. Yeah, I don't want to take the damage. I might be able to do something cool later. I'm going to remove this barrier. And second action, go west. And then third action, I could move up to the angry mob's location. It's going to attack me anyway. And there's this parlay ability on the Innsmouth square. So I think we're going to run back to, I know this is wild. We're going to go back to the town square where the angry mob is. Obviously, Silas did not necessarily understand what was going on. He thought he had... The thing about the geometry or the geography of Innsmouth is that sound kind of echoes in odd ways, right? Sound is carried over the water, but also echoes off of the strange corners and tight alleyways, and he finds himself back in the center of town, which is perhaps not the best place to be. However, if the investigators control 2 or more keys, parlay, read flashback 5. I love a good flashback, because I have a feeling they are going to be helpful. Flashback. You are in the middle of a conversation with Joe Sargent, the bus driver, but it must be several weeks earlier. Weirdness. Go west through the angry hunting mob. Ew. I don't know what barbershop quartets sound like. The streets are not yet flooded, and all of the dilapidated ramshackle buildings still stand despite themselves. I told you, outsider, Mr. Sargent said. There ain't no buses out of Innsmouth today. But you're not looking for a bus out of Innsmouth. You explain that you have a proposition for Mr. Sargent. He probes the street for eavesdroppers before answering. What kind of proposition? Oh, that's no bad thing, Crosshair. I'm hoping we're, gonna get out of here shortly. You know you aren't going to get through to Mr. Sargent with a moral argument, so you appeal to his material desires instead, offering a sizable sum of money in exchange for his assistance. After returning from Devil Reef, you've found Innsmouth to be even less hospitable than normal. You're watched everywhere you go. Simply traveling on foot puts you in danger. So you just need me to ferry you around like a chauffeur, is that it? Mr. Sargent weighs his options momentarily, then shakes your hand. I can do that. In your campaign log, under Memories Recovered, record a deal with Joe Sargent. Put the set-aside Joe Sargent asset into play under the control of an investigator at Innsmouth Square. Well, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. But we're going to record a deal with Joe Sargent, the creepy-ass bus driver. I don't think we've seen his face before, but he's in here. Yep, here we go. Don't like the looks of this. Joe Sargent, the rattletrap bus driver who looks like a fish with a face, which is horrible. Get out or dead out. Too many Crosshair. I don't know how many catchphrases I have, but we'll figure it out. He has 3 tickets on him. Forced. When he leaves play, remove him from the game. Oh, free soak too. Take that. Spend 1 ticket, move to a connecting location that is not fully flooded, because famously, buses don't drive in water. Well, okay, I could move up to the church green, which is probably no bad thing, because there's only 1 thing there. The angry mob is still going to hunt in and get me, but I don't really care about that, to be honest. I'll use a ticket. So Joe is waiting there, and he's just like, have you finished finally dealing with all them shoggoths and monsters? And Silas is like, you son of a bitch, like, why didn't you help me? He hops on the bus, and they, like, kind of stands at the entrance, and Joe just taps the sign that says, like, sit down or get out. You're beginning to wonder if anyone from Innsmouth can be trusted. Forced. After this location is revealed, choose a key. Choose a key. Randomly choose a key. action, if there are no clues, parlay. Remove a barrier between this location and connecting location. Well, that's good. Get a clue, get the key, remove a barrier, and go. Right? That's fine. That's the plan. Like, for next turn. I also have to get rid of this frackin' Innsmouth. Look garbage. Okay. Enemy phase. Thanks, Joe. Damn tourists. Who the hell's that guy over there? Why isn't he helping us? The angry mob moves in and hits Silas for a damage and a horror. I will put them both on Jacob, who might die shortly, but we hope to see him again soon. We hope to see you again soon, buddy. Upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. Trench coat. Maybe not particularly useful here, but we'll see. Horror. Hello. We go to 1 out of 4 doom. We're not on a fully flooded location, so I'm okay with it. Oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna... Oh god, I'm glad I didn't end my turn there. Oh, Maximilian. It's okay, buddy. He's fine. We go to 1 out of 4 doom. Silas is rushing up, sort of trying to escape the mob through the church. That's through the church that's like reared its head out in front of him. You're gonna see if he can duck inside and find a way through. However, first, something else is going to happen. Probably, enemy phase. I totally forgot a bunch of shit, pardon my French, should have happened. The emerging deep one moves. The troublemaker readies. They're coming for us. Slowly, though. Ravager from the deep. Well, that's not good. Hunter. Deep one. This is the beast. While its location is flooded, it gets +1 fight and +1 evade. +2 and +2 if it's fully flooded, which it's not. Excuse me. Forced. After the Ravager from the deep engages you, test combat 2. If you fail, place a barrier between your location and the location to the west. I mean, that sucks. I don't want to fail this. I was hoping to, like, get some clues and get the hell out, but I think instead I'm going to be evading, cluing, doing other stuff, moving. Maybe I can move with Joe. Yeah, I might have to. Test combat 2. Well, I have 2 combat and a lucky. So let's just do it. We're going to test fortitude. Click. There we go. -2 is a pass. So I don't place another barrier, which is good. But of course, croaking and growling from inside the church, Silas finds himself having escaped the mob for now, but confronted by a beast that he does not want to have to deal with. Now, I could try to kill it with the meat cleaver, 2 actions. I think I'd rather just, like, evade and, like, try to keep going, you know? I think that's the game plan. I'm gonna try to, like, I'm gonna evade it, get a clue, the mob doesn't make attacks of opportunity, and then I can hopefully remove a barrier and move all at the same time. Like, I'm hoping I can do all of this appropriately. So we're gonna evade, 4 to 1. Yep. Let's do it. He's gonna try to basically rush through on the other side of the aisle from the Ravager, this monster, which doesn't seem to be moving too quickly. He's hoping he can get through in time. And my other bus is here. 4 to 1. -2 is a pass. I love it. Sorry. It's 4 to 2, but that's still a pass. I should be more careful. Second action, we have to... I would like to get this clue. I have... well, this is... Okay, actually, this might be impossible. I have 1 intellect. Unexpected courage. Look what I found. 5 to 3. Yeah. 5 to 3. Ooh, +1. So I'm going to take Unexpected Courage back to hand, and now I've used Silas's ability. I forgot. That's okay. So I didn't need that, but that's okay. Get the clue. Get a key. A blue key this time. Blue. And now... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be really cheeky here. Instead of spending an action to parlay, I'm gonna be really cheeky. I'm gonna spend 2 clues, because it's fast. Remove a barrier. Then I'm gonna use the bus. I'm gonna, basically, so here's how it worked, right? Silas escapes from the mob, rushes in through the church. There's a growling, gurgling sound from this creature that's in there. He's rushing through. He's trying to find any information he can. He grabs a bunch of binders from like that room down under the room underneath in the basement below the chancel. He finds more notes and things there. This is where he found notes during the investigation about Alina. He rushes up the back stairs, out the back exit, round around the side, past that creepy gravedigger, and kicks his way back onto the bus, and he's just like, go, go, go! Joe, of course, points to the sign that says, sit down or get out, so he slumps into a seat, as Joe rushes off west. So free trigger, move west. Some of the townsfolk are gathered in front of the old Order of Dagon Hall on the north side of town. Their crazed shouts echo through the streets. Based on what Agent Harper has told you, you know that the Order has something to do with these strange happenings. But what? 4 shroud, 1 clue. Put a thing on it. Key. Another key. I wonder what these keys do. I really hope it's not like at the end being like, resign if you have all the keys. I really hope not. Maybe I should. The point of this was to have an action left to avoid the mob. But I'm wondering now if I should. I'll just be able to take off next turn. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get this clue, right? I mean, I could try. It's not going to go very well. I could take heart. The wine is on Sundays. Oh my god. Who is that? Get her out of there. I don't think I'm going to be passing this intellect test right now. So I will use my last action to continue and hope that we do not need these keys or clues. Someone has barricaded the entrance to the grocery store in the hopes that it might keep out the creatures prowling the streets. I know, Crosshair, it'd be so good, but, like, I can't take that risk when there's, like, a big angry mob behind me and stuff. Sorry. At least I'd like to take the risk, but you know how my luck goes. It's not going to be a risk. It's going to be the thing that, like, drops clues on my location, puts barriers, just does a bunch of shit. Horrible stuff. Ooh. After you enter this location from a connecting location, place a barrier between both locations. Interesting. 3 shroud, 2 clues. Parlay, test your lowest skill, 2. If you succeed, remove a barrier between this location and connecting location. Thank you. I'll take that luck. I think before I move on, I'm going to take a quick break for more water and so on. I hope you all do the same. Please join me back here for the exciting conclusion. Silas has made it to the grocery store, but that's not enough. He's got to make it to the railway station, just a few short moves away. Can he do it? We'll find out. Back in a sec on Doomed. Hello once again. Welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I'm happy to be back. Thank you, Aragwin. So kind. I appreciate it. I needed some more water and I needed a washroom break and stuff, which is good because I'm feeling reinvigorated for the end of this scenario. Because I feel like I've kind of, I'm not gonna say let us down a bit, but I feel like the last couple of moments, story moments, weren't quite as exciting. I have to let this cat out as well. Excuse me. Right. My apologies. Okay, where are we here? So Silas is... Oh, Was that all one turn? We started at the green. We evaded the thing. We grabbed a clue. We removed a barrier, we moved, and then we moved again. Yeah, it was all one. I agree, Crosshair. It's been good, hasn't it? Okay, enemy phase. So where has Silas ended up, right? He rushes by the massive sort of Masonic temple that's the Esoteric Order of Dagon, and straight down to the grocery, which, as he notes from the house on Water Street, the pages he found, it has been barricaded by some of the citizenry, hoping to hold out against the invaders. It would appear perhaps there is no one there, though. 3 shroud, 2 clues, victory 1. I love it. Fireball and coffee. However, enemy phase, not so good. The troublemaker and the deep ones, so a contingent of townsfolk and monsters are hunting west towards the jail. The angry mob also is heading west. Interesting. Here, Gwen. You have any fireball? And we go upkeep, where we draw a card and gain a resource. Quick thinking, which could come in very handy here. Ah, I see. Well then, I suppose maybe not so interesting. Just joshing. Okay. What are we looking at here? We're looking at an almost empty deck, which means I have to do something about that shortly. We go to... I see. We go to 2 out of 4 Doom. We're not at a fully flooded location. I'll take it. Remember that the monsters that are hunting us, they now fully just ignore barriers because there's no unbarriered path towards me, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. Silas is going to try to pull his way through some of the barricades into the grocery store to see if there's anyone still alive in there. And we draw an encounter card. Inundated. Place a barrier between this location and each connecting location with no barriers. We're blocked. We're blocked in. So that's not good. Oh, I am quite familiar. Aragwen, let me tell you, there are some alcohols that I became very familiar with during my university days, which I have... refused is such a hard word, but let me just say that I do not drink them anymore. I actually swore off certain kinds of liquor entirely for a long time, and then realized, well, hang on, Scott, like, you don't have to not drink rum, you just need to not drink that much of that shitty stuff, basically. Your cousin lived with us for a while. Being a teenager is dramatic, it's true. I'm just joshing you. Oof. Sorry, Aragorn, that was, of course, the voice of, like, ahoy there, Dad. Sorry, my voice must have been carried strangely by the water. My apologies. Okay. Well, shit, the mob is coming. Classic mob. Okay, what's happening here? What do I want to do? I'd love these clues. I'd also love to parlay, remove this barrier, and then use the bus to beep beep, get the hell out. Oh, no, I don't actually, because then these guys are coming. Ooh. You don't have to stop drinking at parties, but perhaps we should try this moderation things everyone's always been talking about, huh? How important is this victory point? This is the question. I have 1 from the Shoggoth, 2 from the bridge, 3 from the square, 4 from the jail. I'd like this, but 2 clues is a bit of an ask, because I need to also... Well, no, not necessarily. I can take a hit from the mob, so maybe I can just stay here for a turn. What I really want to do is get rid of this frickin' Innsmouth look. Actually, that is what I'm going to do then. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to test the Innsmouth look. I think by finding his way into the grocery store and by fighting his way into the grocery store and hopefully, yes, true, Crosshair. Saren, are you Aragwen's cousin? That's very funny, honestly. By fighting his way through the barriers into the grocery store, Silas is hoping to prove himself not one of these creatures. He needs to like check his face. He needs to find a reflective surface of some kind so that he can just, find out if he has changed anymore. I'm testing willpower 3. I have 2 willpower. I'm going to commit quick thinking and unexpected courage. Is that a bad idea? 5 to 3? And I need to succeed by 2. Well, hell, that's not going to happen. I'm going to commit unexpected courage to be 4 to 3. That's not very good either, is it? I have a lucky. It's fine. Well, it's not fine, but 4 to 3. Okay, cool. Success. Great. Courage goes away. So does the look, which is good news. I have extra sanity again. I'll take it. Now we're going to attempt to get some of these clues. How are we going to do this? What's left in my deck? Perseverance. Another Unrelenting? What else is in there? Resourceful? A second copy of Resourceful? Be really nice. Really nice. So yeah, I'm going to investigate 2 to 3, and I'm going to play Take Heart. I failed. Ooh, actually I can succeed. What is this new thing, Aragwen? Is it this thing where he doesn't like having his hair dressed? I'm just joshing. No, I'll choose to fail. Draw 2, gain 2. Perseverance and the key ring. That's how we're gonna pass investigation tests, you dummy. Oh, that's so cute. Aragwen, he's so smart. What a smart little dude. He rolls, so he dodges the first bullet, then he gets shot by the second, and if you shoot him again, he's just like, how dare you? I love it, Aragwen. I'm gonna play the key ring. Yes. Great. Okay, enemy phase. This is where things start to get really hairy. The angry mob moves in and hits me for 1 damage and 1 horror. I'm going to put them both on Mr. Morrison and kill him, because I'm hoping to get him back soon. Actually, is that foolish? It's kind of foolish. I can put a horror on Jakob here and damage on me. Things are getting hairy. And then the enemy phase, the Ravager will move over 1. Actually, I'll have it move down 1. Why not? And I'll have these guys move up 1. Doesn't really matter, right? They're getting closer. That's so cute. A Thespapian. Oh, Aragwen. Oh. What a charmer! Okay, upkeep draws us one of our last cards. It's a key ring. Perseverance. Mythos phase, we go to 3 out of 4 doom. It is getting spooktastic over here. And we draw an encounter card. Undertow. Undertow, after you move, take 2 damage and 2 horror. Horror. Discard Undertow. But I can free trigger to test to try to get rid of it. But I'm not moving yet, so it does not matter. Investigation phase. Here's the plan. We get the clues because we're going... Oh god, we're going searching. We're going searching for clues. Then we take out a barrier, and then we run and avoid all of the Midsummer Night's Bork. Yes. No. Okay, so Crosshair. No, it is not, which is good, but also, I think this is probably what you're referring to. The mob can't make attacks of opportunity, which is really good, because otherwise I feel like I haven't been engaged with other people in the moments. But look at these monsters. They are coming for us. That was my attempt at a Murloc. Did you like it? Oh! After you move. Move. I don't know. That's an interesting question, actually, Crosshair, I think. Because, like, Yeah, it doesn't say... Huh. Because it doesn't say after you move, like after you know, move bold or whatever. No. I'm gonna think on that here. Yeah, it's just moving, I guess. Because the undertow's sweeping you out, right? So you have to fight it before you can move away, or else it'll sweep you out to your death. To your death! Okay. Here's the plan. Both clues, remove a barrier, bus out, and then I guess just keep running. So, don't fuck it up. Oh, no problem, weirdness. Here, I can do it. I actually quite like those sounds. Thank you, weirdness. I still got a 3 out of 5 for that first one. I thought I had to use English words. My apologies. Okay. Are we getting both of these clues? Yes. It would be foolish not to. It would be very, 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 very foolish. I have survival instinct. I can use quick thinking. I just don't have anything to commit to these intellect tests. That's the problem. I feel like nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows. I think it's in Blazing Saddles, right? Where she sings it. Think, Scott. What are we doing here? Do I have blessed tokens in the bag? Yes. Where have they been this whole time? I don't know. Spaceballs! Oh, of course it is, Crosshair. Thank you. Okay. Think, Scott. Think. What are we doing here? We're trying... We have to get out of here before these creatures arrive, right? So we're going to do the parlay first. That's what we're going to do. Yes. That's what we're going to do. We're going to test willpower 2. And... yeah. To get rid of a barrier. Because then that way, if I can't get these clues, I can at least bust the hell out of here. Although how, I don't know. But we'll... it's fine. Quick thinking is such a dangerous play here. Because, like, I don't want to just waste it. But it's okay, I think... yeah. 5 to 2. I mean, honestly, weirdness. Currently, she's far enough away that I know she can't hear this anyway. But normally, yes. Normally, I think she'll probably just hear, like... and then the creature moved into the room. Penis! You know what I mean? Very odd. Okay, we're testing willpower to try to remove a barrier from this goddamn grocery store. I have 2, 3, 4, 5 will against 2. Test it. Skull! What the hell is this? -1 for each location to the east of you. 1, 2, 3. It's a pass. I could bring quick thinking back to my hand and use the lucky. I should do that. I'm doing that. And then I use the lucky. So I pass. So we remove this barrier here, which is okay. Thank you, folks. And then, you know what? I know. Well, here's the thing, Crosshair. Oh, this is exactly what happened last time, right? I'm now out of deck, so it's going to reshuffle, but then how am I going to get it back? The problem here is I want to get these clues, but I'm testing 2 against 1, which is just not good enough. More to the point, I also have to frickin' deal with this undertow. So you know what? We're leaving the experience point behind. And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt either. Okay. I could just take 2 damage and 2 horror. Horror. I don't want to, though. I'm going to discard a card from my hand and test exactly Aragwen. I love a good biscuit, but I'm not going to risk it for said biscuit, because it's a biscuit. Like, I can make more biscuits. You know what I mean? Agility 3. I have 4 agility. I'm going to discard the key ring, and then I'm going to put in a trench coat and a quick thinking. So I am rocking 4, 5, 6 to 3. Gah! Bless. awesome. That gives me an action back. Oh, I was moving. I was literally in the midst of moving. That was the reason that was happening. I understand. Okay, so I was moving, but I have an action now. I discard Undertow. Oh no, I'm not moving. That's interesting. I'm not moving necessarily. I was testing to get rid of Undertow, which I did. Thelia. I don't look like a Deep One weirdness. I don't. If people do not know this short film from the Canadian, oh my God, Scott, get it together. The NFB, the National Film Board of Canada. Please do yourself a favor. It's free online. Go watch it. There's a bunch of films, animated short films that came out in the 70s, 80s, 90s, out of Montreal, actually, which are still widely regarded as like Canadiana classics. Log Driver's Waltz, The Hockey Jersey, or I think it's just called The Sweater. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, The Big Snit. John Verrill's father worked on a lot of those films because he was a producer at the NFB for many years, which is fun. But please do yourself a favor. I think it's about 8 to 10 minutes long. It is legitimately one of the things I quote all the time and I love to death. I love it to death. Okay. Thank you, Crosshair. It's very short, and I think you can find it quite easily. Now, Scotimus, what the hell are we doing now? I have 3 actions all of a sudden. So now I suppose I could test to try to get stuff from the grocery. And then I can still free trigger move to the Gilman house to get out of here. I could also just try to test the parlay again. No, I don't want to do that. Babby Nicola. Oh, people know it. Oh, it's thrilling. I wonder if we talked about it at some point. Wow, Aragorn, I didn't know that was a thing. It's such a it's charming is the wrong word. It is fucking weird, and I love it. It's right up my alley. Okay, we're using, basically Silas has run back inside, and he's got a grocer's set of keys, and he's like desperately trying key after key after key to try to get in into the back, basically, where he thinks there might either be people or supplies. So I have a couple actions, so I say why the hell not? Oh, there you go, Saren. Old keyring reduces the shroud by 2, so I'm investigating at 2 to 1. Let's just fucking try it, you know? Nope. See, that's... Yep. This is exactly why I didn't do that. Oh my god, I fucked up really bad. Oh no. Crosshair. Your luck didn't arrive. Okay, let me explain what's going on. So, Silas is trying keys in the door of the grocery, and then suddenly another door slams open from the outside. Dozens of creatures start to invade the grocery, and he is forced to rush and retreat out of the grocery. So here's what's going to happen. I had 2 intellect versus the 1 shroud of the location. I failed. And I pulled a cultist. The cultist says, if you fail, move to the connecting location to the east, ignoring all barriers. Disaster City strikes here, because now I am. So, Crosshair, do you see why I try not to do things in these scenarios? I should have just moved on. Oh, God, no. Okay. I think I still have an out here. This is the Innsmouth Square. Well, exactly weirdness. Oh, and of course the cat came back, which is I also would have seen that on Nickelodeon for sure, Aragorn. I'm not out of charges. I still have 1 bus ticket. These guys are all engaged with me, so they would come with me. So actually, though, that's okay, because then No, I want to evade them here, and then I'll bus up to the green, and then I'll leave them further behind me, which I think is not a bad thing. Saren. Ooh. Well, yeah, so, I mean, good question, Crosshair. Let's have a look here. I believe that the way that this works here, I'm just going to take a look at it. I've moved into their location, so they've engaged me. It's either engaged with an investigator or it's unengaged and at a location. It's considered to be at the same location as the investigator, and should they move, the enemy remains engaged with them and moves with the investigator. So I feel like it might be a non-move action, but I think the idea is that, you know, enemies are, like, for me, the flavor here is that, like, enemies are supposed to feel dangerous. Unless they're literally so big that they can't move out of the room that they're in, they will follow you. Like, you know, evasion means something here, and I think to that end, I actually do have a way out, which is really nice. As long as I don't fuck it up, which I can't guarantee. Okay, we're gonna evade. Here's what's gonna, actually, sorry. So, okay, a bunch of shit happens. Let's have a look. I'm gonna deal with the engage effects. I totally forgot this was a thing. After Ravager from the Deep engages you, test Combat 2. If you fail, place a barrier to your west. Well, I'm just gonna test this. Straight 4 to 2. Bless, -3. Still pass, but I remove a bless, which sucks. This one says, after emerging Deep One engages you, if your location is flooded, it attacks you. It's flooded, so it attacks me. Phew. I'm gonna put a damage and a horror on horror. Oh, Jacob readies though, because of the bless token. Put a damage and a horror on me. Okay, now Silas had to rush east away from the angry mob that was smashing down the doors and windows of the grocery looking for him. Then, having found himself in the square again, somehow these creatures are just coming out of the sea by the dozens, and they surround him. He's gonna need all of his, he's gonna need everything he's got to get away. Ergwin says, the only thing that kept me alive to the end of the game is active lack of curiosity. Yep, there it is. It's why, for me, something like Cabin in the Woods is so funny, right? Because, I mean, I know that's part of the joke, but very much part of the joke in Cabin in the Woods is people being like, are you sure you don't want to touch the strange relic? You sure? You know, it's good times. Okay, I'll ready my dynamite. That's the thing, though, Crosshair. And then when I'm not playing with you, I can't rely on your luck, obviously. So I have to rely on my luck. So I don't. But then I do stupid things, like trying to investigate. What a dummy. I should have remembered that was... What a horrible token effect, too. Woof. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. If Silas is going to get away, he has to find a way out of the square, which is now surrounded by roaring, clicking, crunching creatures and a couple of townsfolk that seem to be intimately, they seem to be aware of and connected to these creatures. I'm going to evade the Deep One. Okay, Aragwen, hit me up, and I hope it's nothing too bad. Dana, I can fix that. Oh. It is! Oh my god, it's the only one. Unless the little tines are supposed to be at the top? That looks better, doesn't it? Can I flip it? Nope. I'm still gonna do that for the sense of symmetry. Oh, god, it's so much worse. Oh, god, it's not worse, but like they're all the same. Eric, what? That's Aragwen's sound there. Okay. Folks, I have to focus. I have to finish the scenario. We're evading the Deep One. I have 4 agility versus the 1 of the Deep One. But I'm going to commit Survival Instinct, which says, if it's successful, I can disengage with each other enemy and move to a connecting location. So what Silas is going to do... No, please keep talking, Aragorn. I'm sorry. I just want to, remember to actually, try to play when I can as well. I'm going to evade and hopefully move at the same time, which will be... Nice, that's correct. Oh my god. Okay. That's the game plan. 5-1 with the survival instinct committed. A 0. A pretty big pass, if I do say so myself. So we evade the deep one, and the other 2 creatures I disengage, and I move to a connecting location, which will be up. Oh, okay. Silas manages to basically leap onto the top of a parked motor vehicle, and then with all of his strength onto a fire escape, pulling up his muscles, bulging, his pectoral muscles flexing as he pulls himself up and onto the fire escape, clang, 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 up onto the roof, and he dashes away from the creatures screaming at him from below. I have an action left. I could bus in and try to get the clue from the Dagon, but, why would I do that? Yeah, exactly, Crosshair. Just clear 4 barriers. Let's look at how to do that, shall we? Double action. Parlay test intellect 3. Not my best stat. If you succeed, remove a barrier. A single barrier. I gotta go around. What a disaster. Do I have any clues? Not even. Oh, actually, a second clue would be very, very helpful here. So I'm gonna bus. I'm gonna use the last ticket. Possibly... against my judgment here, to move to the Order of Dagon. No, I'm not. What the hell am I doing? I'm going to use my action to move. I want to save the bus for when it's going to really matter. Okay. Enemy phase. Oh god, the Troublemaker and the Ravager from the deep move up towards me. The angry mob, once again, has... well, it's ransacked the grocery store, and it has found Silas Marsh. Moves in. A damage and a horror. I'm gonna put the damage on me and the horror on me as well? What a terrible idea. I could kill Jacob, but I feel like I might want him to pass a single clutch test here. I'd have 2 health and 2 sanity left, yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Woof. Okay. Upkeep. Whoa. Okay. Well, okay. Unrelenting is good. It's a good card. Hashtag good card. I think I forgot that there's a goddamn barrier here. Oh, well, that is actual ass. Spaghettios. We have a plan. But of course, first... Did I end at a fully flooded location? No. But of course, first we have to go Agenda 3B, closing in. The Monuxet River spills over as the tide rolls in higher and higher. Soon, the streets are overflowing. The waves engulf anything and everything in their way, turning over vehicles, smashing through ramshackle houses, and cutting off escape routes. If this goes on much longer, there will be nothing left of the town of Innsmouth. Increase the flood level of each location. That is a disaster. That's right, folks. Thank you. In player order, each investigator draws an encounter card. Here we go. Deep One Assault. I am absolutely fucked. And I can trace it all back to that greedy decision to get a clue off of that goddamn grocery store. Disengage from each Deep One enemy at your location. Each Deep One enemy at your location and each connecting location engages you. If none of them engage you, blah, blah, blah. Backing away from the angry mob charging towards him, suddenly, there's only one Deep One, which is Ravager from the Deep. Suddenly, there are creatures once again surrounding him. You never go for a shopping side quest when you're... Oh, God! You're right, Aragorn. You're right! The deep one engages me. After it engages me, test combat 2. If you fail, place a barrier between your location and the location to the west. Well... Dash STER. What's that on about? Saren Zero? I am curious. Yeah, that's true, so I don't need to pass this test. I wouldn't mind drawing with Unrelenting, but I'll keep this later. I think I will be Thelia. This is my blushing bride. Let's, yeah, it's true. 4-2. Pass anyway. Ah, disaster. Very good, Saren. I like it. I totally forgot, I'm sorry. I forgot about what I had said before. Okay. Well, that was an encounter card, which moved an enemy onto me, which is bad news. Oh my. Agenda 4A. Oh god. Nothing that I could have imagined, nothing even that I could have gathered, had I credited old Zadok's crazy tale in the most literal way, would be in any way comparable to the demoniac, blasphemous reality that I saw, or believe I saw. Forced. When your turn ends, if you are at a fully flooded location, take a damage, a horror, and discard 2 cards at random from your hand. 3 doom. We're also drawing an encounter card, again, because it's still the mythos phase. Oh my god! It's another enemy. After it engages you, take a horror. The reason... I mean, again, this is the story is happening. Silas was driven from the grocery store by the mob back to the east, where he's picked up all sorts of horrible creatures that are essentially attempting to, well, kill him. Oof. The problem now is I've got 2 very, very beefy enemies on me. I need to evade both of them. That's the problem. Before I can... and then I need a clue to get... I need to get rid of this. I could go backwards and down and around? No, I can't. I can't do that. And they're all fully flooded locations. Oh no! Oh, everything was going so well. Oh no. What a disaster. I don't have 2 clues, Crosshair. I don't know where they went. I only have 1. I would need a clue from this location, which I could potentially get, except that I'm engaged with 2 enemies. Woof. So, evade, pull an Elder Sign, evade the other one. It was weirdness. I think I was basically near the end. I can't get the clue. So evade, hope to commit, like, get a Elder Sign for a resourceful or whatever. I can also Unrelenting into 2 more cards, which might be good. Your first mistake, thinking it was going well. So, okay, let's talk about what I need to do here. I need to clear this barrier so that I can get to the grocery, so that I can get to the Gilman house, so that I can get out. Correct, Aragwen. That's correct. That's all I have to say about that. I also need to evade both of these enemies so that I can... Oh. Exactly, Crosshair. So get it back, right? Get it back from the discard pile. Well, if I use Unrelenting, I can draw 2 cards. I can probably get it back, and I can probably draw another 2 cards. And then basically I just need to survive a huge whack of damage and stuff, so to speak. Get a clue. Then I'll be able to fast parlay, fast bus out. Okay, no. Evade. Get a clue somehow. Fast bus out. Not die. But still get flooded, which is bad news. But that's okay, that's fine. I can leave Joe behind in the water. This is what's happening. I'm playing Unrelenting. Unrelenting, I'm assuming I'm not going to see an Elder Sign here. Perhaps foolish. Perhaps very foolish, in fact. Because I need more cards rather than less cards. Yeah, okay. I think they say that you should always do it. Right, Aragorn? I think that's what they say. So I'm going to take 2 Bless and a +1 out of the bag, which means that I draw 2 cards, which means I have to take a Horror, which goes on Jacob, which kills Jacob. Sorry, Jacob. What order does that happen in? I need to know how that works. Sounds Brahmi to me. Deck, empty deck. Drawing cards. If an investigator with an empty deck needs to draw a card, they shuffle, they draw the card, and then they take a Horror. Okay, so I'm drawing my 2 cards, and then I'm taking the Horror, which kills Jacob. That doesn't help me right now. Okay. Bad? Anyway, 5-1. Well, I mean, you're right. We don't give up. We don't give up around these parts. But I am going to use Silas's ability to take it back to hand. Oh, that was a tentacle token. That's an automatic failure. The card we most love to see around these parts. I could also I need to take as many tests as possible is what I need to do, because I need to keep drawing cards. So we're going to attempt to evade again. I mean, I'm not going to survive is the problem, right? That's correct, Aragorn. It's a... Here, let me... Oh, right. Those go back in. I will show you. It's this. It's also called the auto-fail. This is the image that I would want behind the image of this one in, like, a tattoo. I don't know how you would do that, though. Crosshair, I cannot wait to math that out. Silas is confronted by a mob at the front of the Order of Dagon. As he rushes around to the back, there are beasts aplenty, deep ones, all over the place. I don't think... In fact, I know I don't. I need to kill the young deep one. I need to kill the young deep one. I'm gonna point out something that may not have kind of come up here. Potentially, Crosshair. If I evade both, I will take a damage and a horror from the angry mob. Fine. But then the young deep one says, after it engages you, take a horror. Oh! Hang on. This actually came up before, and I really need to remember how it works. So I am going to... Someone messaged me. I posted on Reddit because I had to know how this worked, specifically for this campaign. Where are you? I need to find it. Submitted? I specifically posted something here. Right. Okay, no. So that is how that works. Never mind. Yeah, well, yeah. I think in hindsight, if I hadn't pulled that cultist token, i.e. if I hadn't tried that cheeky keyring move, I may have made it further along. Now, I have a bunch of keys, which might give me more experience and stuff. I'd be really happy about that. I think I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's definitely not bad. I don't want to die, so perhaps there's some way that I can avoid that. If I can, like, you know, get a perseverance or whatever. So, okay. I don't think so. I don't think so, Crosshair. But, you know, again, what we're going to do right now is unrelenting again. I don't even have the soak to use the meat cleaver to kill this thing, which is too bad. We're going to, again, we're going to evade the Ravager from the deep. Oh, sorry, it has 3 evade. That's my mistake. So 5 to 3, and once again, I am going to pull 2 blesses and a +1 out of the bag. Because it draws me some cards, which might be very nice. Draw 2. Okay, you know, unexpected courage or whatever. Seems good. 5 to 3. A pass. It's a pass. And then, yeah. I think that's it. Because as Silas is attempting to... He's trying to basically, you know, monsters approaching from the east, crowd approaching from the west. They are being driven by this robed figure who is frothing at the mouth and just screaming for blood. Let's, I guess, attempt to... Yeah, I don't know, homie. I'd love, like, a clue or a parlay or something. Evading multiple enemies at once. I have so many good cards. Let's evade... No. Let's just... Yeah, let's just do this. 5 to 3. Okay, evaded. Enemy phase. Hunters hunt. Uh-oh. And then... the Angry Mob and the Innsmouth Troublemaker do a combined total of 3 damage and 1 horror. Horror. So, which kills Joe and puts 2 damage on me, which means I take a physical trauma and am knocked out. This is now starting to get really dicey, trauma-wise. I mean, in the thick of it, so good. Really bad for where I'm at in this scenario. I think... I don't know, do we think Silas is blessed or cursed? Where are we at with that, folks? If no resolution was reached because each investigator was defeated, your flight from Innsmouth is fraught with peril. Nowhere is safe. Horrific creatures patrol every street, their unblinking eyes scanning for every sign of human life. Sorry, for any sign. The eerie silence is punctuated only by the occasional screams of those unfortunate enough to be caught by the foul things. You move through the city as quickly as you can, but they close in all around you, following your every move. Soon, if you do not find a place to hide, they will catch you. And when they do, your cries of agony will surely join with the others. That's a good point, Aragwen. He's got that bod, so he's got to sacrifice for it, you know? You are out of options. You break into the nearest building, a sinking, ramshackle residence, and hide. Very good, Thelia. I haven't seen that in ages. You hear the telltale of wet footsteps outside the house. Seconds turn to minutes, minutes to hours. Sun sets, bathing the sky outside in a deep scarlet hue. Bit by bit, the light fades. Under cover of darkness, you make your move. The flood is so bad now, it is a wonder you can even trudge through to the other side of the city, but somehow you do. With the railway station in sight, you break into a run. Blurst, exactly. Yeah, I did pardon my French, but I don't think it worked out in this end. In this way, I should say. Damn it. Oh, it's so frustrating too. Like, sorry, it's not frustrating. From a player perspective, there's more resolution. I'll keep reading in a second. From a player perspective, the deck is good, the investigator is good, all sorts of things are working well, and then you get one kind of bad thing. Like, you're kind of walking this tightrope where you're like, oh, I just need to stay a little bit ahead. Boom. All of a sudden, I guess I Most people play Silas with Pete Sylvester, Paximo's favorite ally. But of course, Peta is off in the far reaches of another dimension with Rita, so he's not coming back. Most people play Silas with Pete because Pete has horror soak that kind of regenerates, and he has low sanity, so that would kind of make sense. Resolution 1. You rush to safety, elated to be free of this hellish ordeal, but as you reach the vehicles, uncertainty swims in your mind. When you turn to face Agent Harper, she instantly recognizes your expression. You understand now that you were hired to rescue her, and then something went awry. You and Agent Dawson were captured, and he was sacrificed to that thing in the tidal caverns. What? Now you and Agent Harper are safe and free to return to Boston. Oh my god, please let me return to Boston, please. Get me out of here. And yet, we can't just leave, Harper says aloud what you're thinking. Her brows knit in frustration. I mean, look at all this, the devastation, these creatures. She motions to what remains of the flooded town of Innsmouth. We have to figure out what's really going on here, or... You understand her meaning. If the tide is rising this quickly here, it could be happening all along the eastern seaboard. Arkham, Boston, no city is safe. Worse yet, nobody would believe such a tall tale until it was too late. Whatever these creatures are, they are scheming something that could put the entire world in jeopardy. You cannot allow that to happen. I don't suppose you have Dawson's key, do you? Harper asks. You can't imagine you would, yet when you check your belongings, you find a polished silver key among them. He must have given it to you before his untimely end. You try the key on the driver's side door, and it turns with an audible click. Well, would you look at that? She starts her car as well. At the engine's shuddering ignition, your mind reels with sudden pain. A bright spot like an incandescent sun flares within your sight. Okay, so where to now? She asks, but you're barely able to register her words. The blinding flare grows larger and brighter. The rumbling of the engine drowns out all other sound. The world spins. You fall to the ground, clutching your temples. Your head is on fire. You can hear Harper calling to you, but her voice is muffled like she's deep underwater, or perhaps you are. Your vision fades. All that is left is the roaring of the engine and the crashing of the tumultuous sea waves, and then we earn an experience equal to Victory X. Record it under unspent experience, but do not spend any of it yet. So I will. Right, I may not even get to spend it. Check the campaign log. If we made it safely to their vehicles, record an additional 2 experience, but we did not. Scenario 4, Devil Reef. Scenario 5 of this campaign is absolutely sick, and I'm really excited. Scenario 4 is terrifying. We're not going to read the intro. Scenario 4 starts 3 weeks earlier, which tells me that we are once again having a grand flashback. Thank you all for joining me on Doomed today. Oh, exactly. I mean, Devil Reef does not sound good. And in fact, I would like to point out that we have a memory of a battle with a horrifying devil. What is it, Aragwen? The second falls on a Friday this year. September 2nd? Aragwen? Sorry, what is September the 2nd? I'm sorry, I don't actually know. It has been very rough, Crosshair, I do agree. And hopefully less rough in the future, but we'll see kind of how it goes down. Thank you all for joining me a lot. This has been great. Tomorrow we have Punchy Book Club, and we have another episode of Changeling River Wild over on RPG Clinic. You can join us for that. I am probably not streaming on Tuesday, but I do hope to stream at another time through the week because I really want to try out this mortuary assistant business. It's because of you that I do this. I used to record these and post them on YouTube, which I enjoyed as well. I could do it with my coffee in the morning, but this is more fun, honestly. So I really, really hope that people are enjoying. If you're not, or if you have suggestions, of course, jump in the Discord and let us know. And thank you all very much for that. I think if I learned one thing today, it's like Aragwen said, curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity also killed the man with the pecs from Lang. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here. I think what I'm trying to say is don't be curious. Just be sexy. Have a good one, folks. See y'all very soon. On next... Fuck. Oh, I fucked it up. See you next time. There we go. On Doomed.